All right, guys, folks, welcome to Debate the News on this May 6th, 2025. Excited to be here. Man, it's first of all, it's a volatile day in the world news. I mean, we our title, our title should say everything. That's what our title should say. Because we're going to speak a little bit about everything tonight. We got the Kearney, or whatever his name is, the Canadian Prime Minister, kept the tradition and came over here and visited the United States first. We have the Scotus allowing the trans ban in the military, a win for President Donald Trump. We have Kashmir is on fire, guys. India and Pakistan looks like it's going to be an all-out war with the biggest incursion into Pakistan by India since 1971. That's going on, folks. We have a lot of things happening, and we got this Rodney Hinton thing that I definitely want to touch on because, wow, wow, that's all I can say. Wow. So with that being said, folks, let's get started. So also, if you guys have not downloaded the Chatter social app, make sure you guys go to the Apple App Store or the Google Play Store and download the Chatter social app free of charge, folks, and come join us live and let your voice be heard live on the podcast. Folks, also, up top, we have the links. If you're in the audience, do me a favor, folks, follow the podcast. Download a few episodes as well, guys. Follow the podcast. We got India. We got Pakistan and Kashmir. It's on fire, folks. We have the president, well, the prime minister of Canada visiting the White House. And we have Scotus. Got a lot of things going on. So, guys, share the room. Let everyone know that we are live, folks. Share the room. Let everyone know that we are live. And if you're in the audience, raise your hand and come to the stage so that you can participate in this conversation.
Oh my God.
I get it. I know you got some other you want it. I get it. You needed someone that could prove you wrong, so I reckon you leave all of your problems at the door.
Yeah,
To
folks,
my
we're going to skip on to this right here to the end. Make sure you guys are sharing the room. Make sure you guys are following the podcast. Make sure you guys are downloading the Chatter social app if you are not a live audience participant. All right, folks, welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Welcome to Debate the News. Wow. It's an exciting news day, man. You know what, guys? If we were live, because we got the concave clay beginning tomorrow, we got everything. I mean, this is one of those days where every day, every moment, I can be like, dan, 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 breaking news. So, um, but you know what, folks? I want to get right into this. So, in order to do so, let's get our datelines read and out the way. We're gonna start off with the lovely Miss Leah. Leah, what do you have for us?
All right, let's go. So, first story up, U.S. Supreme Court lets Trump's transgender military ban take effect. President Trump can proceed with his plan to ban transgender people from the military, including by removing transgender troops currently serving, the Supreme Court ruled Tuesday. The brief one-page order delivered over the dissent of the three liberal justices lifted a lower court judge's ruling that had paused the administration's ban, concluding it was likely unconstitutional and based on distortions of limited research on the subject. Trump administration had argued that the courts are required to nearly always defer to the military's determinations about readiness, lethality, and unit cohesion. So there we go. We'll talk about that one a little more later. Homeland Security Chief says travelers with no real ID can fly for now, but likely with extra steps. So May 7th is the deadline for the real ID we've been talking about. And they were saying, oh, there's not going to be another extension or whatever. But now they're saying, Christy Nome told a congressional panel, nope, sorry. Travelers who haven't obtained a real ID by this week's deadline received assurances from Christy Nome that they will be able to fly after additional identity checks. Her comments came Tuesday as people were waiting in long lines outside of government buildings from California to Chicago, trying to update their IDs before the long delayed deadline. Those who still lack an identification that complies with the Real ID law may be diverted to a different line and have extra steps, but they'll be allowed to fly. So, no problem there. The next case coming up, we were talking about Diddy a little bit. Motown legend Smokey Robinson is accused of sexual assault by 4 housekeepers in a lawsuit. 4 former housekeepers for Motown legend Smokey Robinson have accused him of sexual assault, alleging in a lawsuit that he repeatedly abused them for years. The suit filed Tuesday in LA County Superior Court alleges that the assaults largely occurred at Robinson's home in Chatsworth, California, northwest of downtown LA. The plaintiffs identified in the 27-page complaint as Jane Doe's 1 through 4 seek damages totaling no less than $50 million, according to the complaint. And then the last one, it's just a little refresher because we're going to be talking about this tonight. Ohio man accused of killing deputy denied bond as chaos erupts in the courtroom. Hinton's 18-year-old son, Ryan Hinton, died after being shot by police on May 1st while officers were pursuing a stolen vehicle, according to Cincinnati Police Department. During the pursuit, 4 individuals exited the stolen car and began to flee authorities. One officer pursued Ryan Hinton, who was allegedly armed at the time, and hid behind a dumpster. When Ryan emerged from the dumpster, the officer fired, fatally striking the 18-year-old suspect. 2 other suspects involved in the stolen vehicle incident have been apprehended, and 1 remains at large. Ohio Fraternal Order of Police President Jay McDonald said in a Monday statement that Ryan's father, Rodney Hinton Jr., intentionally murdered a retired deputy who was working special duty at a graduation just because he was a police officer. And so, anyway, it was a retired guy. He takes a special duty at a graduation directing traffic, and that's the one that Hinton ran over and killed. So, anyway, that's all. Back to you, Jonathan.
Wow, that's awful. Actually, that is awful. I hate that case, and I don't. And we're going to speak about it, and I definitely don't agree with it. Great job with the Dateline as always, Maria. Yeah, that's a horrible case, guys. And if anyone, and I definitely want to hear what people have to say about that. Let's go. We're going to move over to Adrian. Adrian, are you there?
I am here and I've got everything actually. How crazy
Let's
is
do
that?
it. Let's
Everything.
do it.
Who was lucky enough to actually watch Trump's meeting with Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney today? He literally joked that Canada could be the 51st state and save billions in taxes. And I loved that Carney fired back, Canada's not for sale ever. Woo! Standing firm against tariff threats. So trade tensions are high, and Trump claiming the U.S. doesn't need Canada's oil or lumber. Could this playful banter, Jonathan, hide a real economic showdown? That's the question. Okay, a little bit of everything. Germany's leadership stumbled. Friedrich Merz's bid to become Germany's chancellor tanked in today's parliamentary vote, leaving the country in a political bind. Coalition talks are crumbling over EU policies and economic fixes, worrying allies. This mess could weaken Germany's clout in Europe. So let's keep an eye on that. Oh, did you guys know the Vatican Pope hunt begins? Say that 3 times. Vatican's Pope hunt begins. 133 cardinals started the 2025 conclave in the Sistine Chapel today to pick Pope Francis's successor. They're grappling with the hot button issues like gay families, women in clergy roles for 1.4 billion Catholics. The secretive vote has the world guessing who will lead next. I think I saw a picture of the man who's going to lead. Oh, it's President Trump. He's going to be Pope. That's what I saw on the thing. Oh, yeah. Sudan slams the UAE over war meddling. Sudan cut diplomatic ties with the UAE today, accusing them of arming rebels in its beautiful in the brutal civil war. Brutal. The move shakes up the Horn of Africa, where Gulf powers are flexing muscles. We've got Trump's DOJ sparking alarms today, under fire for cozying up to his agenda, like fast tracking a Capitol riot lawsuit settlement. Critics say it's more polarizing than ever, despite its unweaponized pledge. Trust in the system's wobbling as loyalists take key roles. This is crazy. We've got Romanian's populist pivot. Wait, you guys had enough of this all everything? Okay, back to you, Jonathan.
Great job there, Adrian. As always, you always deliver. Wow. So, yeah, the conclave begins tomorrow. There's 133 popes, and I mean, yeah, cardinals. Sorry about that, cardinals, and but they say you enter if you enter the conclave a pope, you leave a cardinal. So basically, the leader that goes in essentially never hardly ever winds up being a pope. So with that being said, it should be interesting to see how long this takes. The first poll, the vote should be taken tomorrow. By this time, we'll have some, I think, black smoke. I believe that's what's going to happen. But it's going to be interesting to see whether they come from the Philippines. The gentleman from the Philippines, going to take it, or the guy from France, or are they going to go back to Italy, or they're going to come over to America because there's never been an American pope. I don't think there will be an American pope, given what's going on right now. But yeah, a lot of things are happening, folks, and so you definitely have to look at that. But I want to start this off tonight, and speak about what's going on over in Kashmir. And you know, um, right now it's a tinderbox over there. We have a lot of people that are over there right now. A lot of people around the world just watching this because we have two nuclear powers. And Pakistan just became a nuclear power somewhere around 2000. I don't know if you guys recall that when Musharraf was president and Trump, Bush and Bush and them were set to try to punish them and ostracize them for acquiring a nuclear weapon. And then 9/11 happened, and we needed Pakistan for strategic because of its location to get to Afghanistan and then eventually Iraq. So Pakistan played a huge role in the United States being able to uh, win the war, quote unquote, or over there in Iraq. So that's what happened. So instead of Pakistan being like ostracized and like just set to the corner. That never happened. 9/11 happened, and the United States said, okay, this is what we're going to do. So now, what that means is we have two nuclear powers now. We have India and we have Pakistan. And Pakistan is Muslims, and India is Hindu, but they're Christian as well. So Kashmir, guys, Kashmir has been a disputed territory since I think like the early 1900s, and that's when England finally left that area. And when the King of England or the Prince of England left, uh, they left it in such a mess. It belonged to India, but it was just a disputed territory, and they've been fighting for Kashmir for a very long time. A lot of people have been killed over Kashmir. So this go around, what's alleged to have happened is India is claiming, and guys, I want others to jump in, that some tourists were killed by militants, Pakistani militants, and that they basically what happened was they killed them. They came and they killed them, and like one survived, and the one that survived was allegedly the one that was able to say the Muslim prayer, and so the other ones couldn't say it, they killed them. Boom. So basically, and once again, guys, that's allegedly what happened over there in terms of the tourists being killed. So India responded, and Pakistan's responding. Pakistan said anything that India does, they're going to step it up and do more. So it's a very violent guys. So it's like and Pakistan has claimed that they shot down, I think 4 or 5 Indian fighter jets. This is the biggest incursion into Pakistan by India since 1971, folks. So right now we have two nuclear powers that were nuclear powers, and they're going at it. President Trump said he sees what's going on over there. He hope it ends soon. Is what he said. He didn't try to get in. He didn't say anything, but he said he opened in soon. So I don't, we have some people in here. I know Lauren's here, and we have Positive and a couple other people here, and we also have Ravi here. Rob, I want to toss it over to you guys because they're calling this a conflict, and this looks like an all out war. If you look at the video, it looks like an all out war. It does not look like a dust up. You know, this looks like all out war. You know, Lauren put in a group chat like, "Hey, I have people, business partners over there. Please keep them in your prayers." There's a lot going on here. So, Lauren, you said something. You said there's no proof. I want to hear from that perspective first. What are you hearing? What actually happened, Lauren?
So there is, I don't speak much on these, on your recordings, but I will speak on this. I haven't gotten a lot of the information from the field. I'm going to call it from the field, from my friends and the people who are based there. But what I know from the stories that they tell, now it's not from the documents. I haven't been able to read the news or all that. But what I've heard from the resources that I have is that Pakistan is claiming that they did not do it. India is saying we did, as we hear that. Pakistan asked for proof, and India is not showing the proof. And so that's really all I have. I'm kind of shaken up on the fact that it's going on, so I don't really want to speak much on this. Other people can chime in for what you've read, but yeah, I'm just kind of waiting for the phone calls to make sure my team is safe.
Well, if I were coming there, I mean, what India is saying is that, I mean, the fact on the ground is that we know we have the party. Kashmir is divided, on the line of the line of the countries, line of contentions, LOC, and India has one part of Kashmir, and Pakistan have the other part of Kashmir. On the Pakistani part of Kashmir, there has been some concentration on the border terrorist incursions. Okay, and in Pakistan is deemed to be in control because it's their own territory. So these terrorist people that are fighting, they are fighting Indians. They are fighting to have autonomy in that location. So this is not the first time that it has happened. The last time it happened was in 1999. They allegedly went across the border on the Indian side and killed tourists. And the majority of them are Indians, 25 of them in number, and one um, from um, from the area. Okay, so this India saw as an aggression, as across the border aggression. Of course, they will Pakistan. Okay, and they retaliated. All right, and that is this will be the fourth time that both countries are faced with Canadian 1947. The partition was made. There was another war that was fought after the partition that created the state that shows Bangladesh tense area. However, Pakistan said they will return, they will respond at the place that they acquired. Unconfirmed report is that they have shot down two Indian aircraft, and we are waiting for Indian Military of Defense to confirm that on our land.
Anyone else wants to jump in on that?
And
Because
Jonathan,
uh,
so India targeted 9 spots in Pakistan that is full of like terrorist or Islamic group or whatever. So they did not just bomb like random places. and they were saying Indian army is saying they were precise and they hit the targets. So they did not go to like full on war with like innocent people and stuff like that. From what I read or read.
All right. So with that being said, guys, listen to me. You guys are saying that this first and foremost. Um, so Robbie, I just want to ask: are you saying that India now? What's going on? Because you're saying that their target, talk to me about the targets. What were you saying about the targets again?
They picked 9 different sites in Pakistan where there are a lot of terrorists in the area or something like that. So they went and bombed those places. Uh, it struck 9 Pakistani sites on Wednesday that were terrorist infrastructure, is what they said. Indian Army said.
You know, you know, and okay, I gotta be honest. I'll be frank here. I've always been on India's side in this. Okay, but as I have become more and like engaged in politics and more aware of what's going on, I to say that they struck 9 targets and it was all terrorist targets, just to me, I don't know if that's accurate. I just don't. Okay, I think India is using this as an opportunity to, uh, I guess, weaken the I guess the opposition. You know, because but it's just it really is one of those things that this right here, guys, this is really really serious. I mean, when you look at the fact that we have 2 nuclear powers that is disengaged. They're very engaged right now, and I don't think they have the same fear of mutual assured destruction as some of us. I think Pakistan is newer with a nuclear weapon, and they probably are itching to use it. It's just I think it's just dangerous. But with that being said, I do believe that the tourists were killed. I actually spoke to an Indian woman, Cindy Stompo, and myself. We were on the phone with someone from Kashmir that grew up in Kashmir, that lives in Kashmir, that still have family in Kashmir, and we were speaking on the phone for about an hour about this whole situation. Prior to it escalating. This was a week or so ago. This was actually over a week ago now. Over a week ago. So probably a week and a half ago. So, before all of this, and when we were like looking at it, I was like, wow. Because I'll be honest with you, I thought Kashmir, uh, I thought they were in the period of detente. Because, guys, if you grew up in my time, hearing and Robbie, you can attest to this, hearing about Kashmir in the news like every other day was not unusual. If you grew up, if you paid attention to the news, when you were growing up, like I pay attention to the news when I was growing up, hearing Kashmir in India go at it, it was not unusual. It was expected. What was unusual for me was the fact that I hadn't heard about Kashmir in quite some time. That was the unusual thing, because I think at one point it was listed as the most disputed piece of land in the world. So I want to toss that out there because there's a lot of people out there, guys, that really don't understand the dynamics here, because that dynamics. I mean, before, I mean, the Middle East has always been the Middle East, but they said if one thing can start World War III, if there's one place on this planet that can start World War III, it was Kashmir. All right, that's pretty much has been what's been stated for decades. The one place that can start World War III is Kashmir. Now, I don't know if that still holds true. I don't. You know, but
Well, 100%, Jonathan. Like Kashmir is always the piece of land both the countries are always fighting for.
yeah. So, Robbie, because it quieted down quite a bit. It quieted down quite a bit.
Yeah, there was a cargo war that happened for a very long time. I mean, yes, it did for a little bit, but it's always fighting over that.
Guys. And that's something that guys. So in debate the news, if we definitely got to acknowledge what's going on over there. Before we move on, I just want to make sure everyone that no one has any anything else they would like to add about that, because guys, once again, this is not a new situation. If it's a new situation to you, uh then I think you just haven't been paying attention. This is not a new situation. This situation has been around now. Ravi, am I correct? It was a prince in the UK when they colonized and they decided to leave the area. It was a prince that left this shit in a monk, right?
Something like that, Jonathan. I'm not good at it, man. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, yeah,
I
because
should have
I
been more
haven't.
prepared.
Yeah, me too. And I'm using old information from my head, guys. So, and I haven't read up on this in a long time, because it's something that's been going on for a very long time. It's sort of like just like getting out of prison after 20 years, using your old map to get around town. That's what I'm trying to do right now. But I got old information up here, trying to use that. But once again, folks, yeah. So anyone else want to chime in before we move on? Because I want to move on to something a bit more controversial before we get to the trends in the military. Anyone wants to anyone has anything they want to add to this Kashmir situation?
I have a question for you, Jonathan. Do you think the United States should get involved in this situation?
For
I,
what?
I think that the United States needs to pay close attention to this situation. They do. They definitely do. They have great influence with Pakistan, and they have great influence with India. Guys, let me just say something to you. My opinion of Pakistan has changed tremendously. Okay, uh, had you asked me about Pakistan 5 years ago, 10 years ago, I would have said savages. I would have said murderers. I would have said lunatics. I would have said, hell, this is what that's what they call Bin Laden. And Al Qaeda was there, and ISIS was there, and all that other stuff. And I'm like, so my opinion of Pakistan was like, hey, you go there, you gonna wind up like Daniel Pearl. I think that's what Daniel Pearl got his head cut off in Pakistan, if I'm not mistaken, guys. Am I mistaken?
That was in Algeria.
Yeah, it was no Algeria. It was not Algeria, bro. One
No, that
second here.
definitely was Pakistan.
Yeah, see now, so Jude, that's what I'm saying. I hate have
That
to
was not
stop mid
Algeria,
show
bro.
the fact check some dumb shit, and I hate it because it's on the podcast, and now I got to fact check it because you said Algeria, and people are gonna say debate the news said it, not Sir Jude said it. So
It happened in Karachi, Pakistan.
okay, pocket. Thank you so
So,
much. Okay, yeah, this
I,
fucking
I, I,
guy.
pro- I probably got the names mixed up.
right,
Oh
right,
yeah,
right,
yeah. Okay,
right,
yep,
right,
yep, yep,
right.
yep,
Yeah,
yeah, yep. That's
I got
yep.
the name mixed up.
That's just like me saying that Mike that Babe Ruth what was like the greatest of all time in basketball. And then I argue about it, and I'm like, oh yeah, I got the name mixed up. Come on. So anyway, but yeah,
Jonathan, can
so
I answer Sir Jude's question really quick?
go
Because
ahead.
I think it's a big one. Sir Jude, I do think that America should intervene before either one of these two countries use nuclear weapons. Because to Jonathan's point, it's been a toss up as to. I personally think the United States should remain as the only country to have used nuclear weapons, right? So if another country were to use it, it's up between India, North Korea, Russia, and Pakistan. But remember, Pakistan is not just Pakistan. Pakistan has been supported in their development of nuclear weapons at a very high level by a lot of different countries. So I would prefer the intervention, whether that be through
You're in
verbal communication, as
Yeah, you are
presidents
in the
have
water.
shown
You
he's
are
going to
under. You're in
do.
the matrix. You're in the
the.
matrix, guys. Once again, podcast. We have live people here. and we have live people participating. So we don't provide microphones. They have their own microphones. They have their own equipment, and they're coming in. So if someone happens to come in with a $2 microphone, don't think it's the production of the quality of the show. Chalk it up to their equipment, not the podcast equipment. So just want to put that out there. So we occasionally get people that have $1 microphone, and that probably was $1.50 microphone that we heard there.
Yeah,
So
Timu's having a flash sale on microphones right now. That's what's going on.
And no reflection on chatter.
hey, Cindy, I was just talking about you.
You better say nice things.
Oh, you know I love you, Cindy. You know I love the hell out of you. You
Oh,
know that.
that means he said bad things. Oh shit.
No. I was talking about Pakistan and India, and that you were so kind to get the woman on the phone. And one of these days, you gotta get her on the phone again so that she can come in here and speak because right now this is huge in the news, and so that's what we're speaking about.
So you want me to bring a normal person into this debate the news?
To talk
Okay.
about Pakistan and what's it
As
called?
long as
Absolutely.
you guys, you people don't attack her.
What do you mean by you people?
Yeah, you people.
What do you mean by that? I'm offended.
Okay. Welcome to Boston. Be offended.
No, guys. No. Yeah, Cindy. Yeah, definitely. I would love Cindy if you can like get her on the phone and she can come in on your phone or whatever. Because I would love because right now people are trying to get an understanding and people a lot of people don't realize that this has been going on since like 1920s or 1930s or whenever the hell it was when the UK left that area and it's been going on since then. It's been a disputed. Like I said, when I was growing up, everyone said if World War III was to begin, it will begin over Kashmir, and so it looks like And Diane, I agree. I think the U.S. should get involved. Okay, we have to get involved because it's nuclear powers here. And we don't want, like I said, and Pakistan is like the newest. I think, if I'm not mistaken, isn't Pakistan the newest member of the nuclear club? They were the last one that got in. No, North Korea, if it's confirmed that they have it. Other than North Korea, Pakistan was the last member to join the
Why
nuclear.
would we get involved in their skirmish? Why
Grant,
would you want
several
America to get involved when we got our own problems?
Grant, first and foremost,
Because you'd be
Grant.
the first person saying, you see, Donald Trump's getting involved in everything.
See, Grant.
Right now we have Russia and Ukraine going on. Joe Biden allowed that to happen. Israel's going on. Iran's a threat.
Go
Bro,
ahead.
America first is an actual real thing that's happening. And America first doesn't mean we go jump into everybody's bullshit every time people have bullshit.
Okay.
This is how these problems skirmishes become World War III.
Well, once again, Grant, let me just say this right here. India and Pakistan, should they use nuclear weapons, okay, they're very near to NATO nations. Okay. If any of that nuclear fallout goes into any of those countries, okay, that's considered an attack on a NATO nation. All right. So and so, you know,
So
it's
why don't you
easy.
promote getting rid of all nuclear weapons then? Because that would be your concern every week. Russia's got nuclear weapons. Israel's got nuclear weapons.
Hmm. All right, that's like
No, no.
promoting getting rid of all rattlesnakes. I mean, what the hell are you talking
Well,
about, bro?
I'm just saying, you want to go kill every rat. You want, because there's rattlesnakes. You want America to go take care of all of them in every desert.
No,
You
Grant.
sound like a warmonger, dude.
No, actually, I
You
don't
sound
sound
like
like
that
a
white dude, that white Republican guy that wants to go to war with everybody. What's that guy's name? I think he's
Trump.
no, not Trump. Trump doesn't want to go to war, dude. Trump's the most
Stephen Miller.
anti-war.
Stephen Miller.
No,
Stephen Miller. Let me just,
Trump's the most anti-war president we've had in 50 years.
hey guys, I want you guys to watch. I want you guys to watch in real time how MAGA works. Okay, Grant is the poster child for MAGA. So what he did is, I said that we should get involved before they go to war and prevent the war, and because we have great influence. Someone has
Sounds
an
like they're
open mic.
already at war, bro.
Someone has a real bad mic. But
Big man, close your mic.
big man, close your mic. Big man, close your mic. All right. So thank you. Wow, that was awful. So Grant, so what I said was get involved and have and sort of like broker peace, okay, between the two to prevent them from going to war. And
You're going to
you
broker
How do you know he's
Pakistanis?
not? How
You're
do
going
you
to
know he's
broker
not? How do you know he hasn't
Pakistanis?
already been on the phone?
Well, I think I support Grant on this one, Jonathan. To
Thank
be
you,
quite
Sir
honest
Jude.
with you, let me tell you why. For strategic reasons. First of all, they are war now, so
Lindsey Graham. Lindsey
Trump,
Graham was the name I was thinking
yeah,
of. Lindsey Graham.
Trump,
go ahead, Sir Jude.
Trump. If this war escalates, Trump cannot come up and say that there was no war during his presidency. That's number one. But the reason why I support America staying aside on this one is because of the strategic importance and the strategic yield it will give to America. This is happening in China's backyard. Let them worry about it, okay? For over the years, America has been spending resources policing the area, maintaining peace that allow China to thrive economically. And they are using that against us now to displace America on the world stage. So let China bog down. These are the two big main countries that they are selling to. Let that will be a very big economic disruption to China. That will be another turn on China's flesh. Let them worry about it, and it will slow down their progress, and then solidifies American rise and American stability and hegemony in the area. That's my strategic approach to it. So America should stay and watch it and let China worry about it. Is their problem. I land.
I would think based on the economics that China kind of likes this skirmish.
No, they wouldn't like it because it's very disrupting of the area.
Yeah, but I think
Nah,
it seems like they
but the
would
trade
like it
war.
because we were negotiating a deal with India for trade.
Yeah, but the consequences of it is that if India is in war, it's going to affect China's line of reception of goods, okay, through that strait. So China is the one that is going to suffer from it. China can
Oh,
only
good
thrive.
point. Good point.
Yeah, China
So
can
this
only thrive. That
this
is,
could
yeah,
be
go ahead.
this could put more pressure on China to
Absolutely,
yeah, I like it.
absolutely.
I like it.
And Jonathan, I do have to agree with Sir Jude. Like,
Which
America should
means you
not.
agree with me.
Yes, Mr. Grant. Yes, I do agree with you.
Thank you, Robbie. I
But
appreciate you.
but
Jonathan,
I
it's
do.
3-1 now, Jonathan.
But I do have a question with Sir Jude on this though. Like, you wanted America to stay neutral, but when Ukraine and Russia went to war, you supported the war, Sir
Yeah.
Jude.
He's a
Why?
warmonger.
No, no, I support
He grew
America. I support America defending Ukraine in order to beat back Russia because Russia was the aggressor. I wholeheartedly support that. Absolutely. You
Okay.
see, one of the reasons I supported that is because there is intelligent analysis that we did about 9 months before the invasion. And we estimated that there will be a simultaneous incursion between Russia and China. China, whether you believe it or not, China was watching to see what happened before they could make the move to realize their 2030 agenda of taking over Taiwan. So that was the reason America and the West responded in a strong way in order to dissuade China to make that move. So yeah, I supported that one. I still support it. I land.
If we didn't look so weak for 4 years, maybe none of this would be going on.
Wait, what?
And
Us
then you
looking weak.
want Trump to come in and save the day in what, 100 something days?
But us looking weak has nothing to do with
Oh, yeah, it
Kashmir.
did. Yeah,
Dude,
Kashmir,
no.
speaking of
No,
weak,
But when you
speaking
look at
of
what's
weak,
going on
how
around the
weak?
world, we didn't have that for 4 years.
Kashmir has been going on
But we
forever,
didn't have
Cindy.
that in 16, 17, 18, and 19, did
Yeah,
we?
but Kashmir has been going on here.
But we know
Kashmir.
that. We know
Speaking
that.
of weak, how weak did the Prime Minister of Canada look?
1947, Jonathan.
How weak did the Prime Minister of Canada look today in Donald Trump's office?
But man,
Marty,
tough.
dude,
The guy, oh man, like
Canada was duped,
he
bro.
might as well have been in the principal's office. My
You guys
goodness.
understand that Donald Trump threw his support behind the opponent just to get Carney elected. You guys got trumped. Carney is Trump's little bitch. The liberals got trumped.
Okay, see, Grant, when you text me that earlier, I try to prevent you from doing that, man, because you still came up here. You still came up here after you texted me that bullshit, and I told you like, all right, whatever, and you still gonna try to sell it. Okay, go ahead.
Bro, you can't see that. That is Trump's game right there, bro. He would do that all day long. He knew what he was doing. It's classic.
He will do what? Booty clap all day long? Because he was kissing ass.
Who
Yes,
was
he
kissing ass?
was.
Who was kissing
Trump.
ass?
Trump was like, "Oh, I like Canada. I love Canada Day. I
Of
like
course,
Canada."
because he does love Canada. And then, chat, I
Was
don't know if
that
you
part
kept
of his
listening, chat.
negotiation?
I don't know if you kept listening, chat. Then he says, but we don't need your cars, we don't need your steel, and we don't need your aluminum.
But chat, you gotta also understand what's the need of what why need to go big dog like they were with Zelensky when the guy literally came in there with his thing tucked in his own ass. Like I mean, literally. I mean, I know you watched it, but like let's be real here. Like him compared to how the meeting with Zelensky, right? I'm just saying the guy. I don't know. He looked weak. He looked timid.
He didn't look weak. What are
He
you
said,
talking
we don't
about,
need
Marty?
Canada.
No,
Ah,
He did not
he
look
was
weak.
booty clapping. He
Oh my God.
was kissing the ring, and I was like, I felt bad. I was like,
You saw a different interview than I saw.
this is not the Trump that I know. Like, this is not the badass. Like, he came in there being all nice and, oh, we love Canada. You
Well,
know,
we do love Canada.
Canada's our friend. Three
They
months
are our friend.
ago, Canada's our bitch, and they about to be the 51st state in the country. Like, what?
did he roll anything back?
Rolling?
Nothing.
He didn't roll anything forward either.
Oh, chat. You need to go back and watch the
The
interview again.
fine.
You need to go back and
What
watch
you
that
say, my
interview.
friend?
You got to
What?
go back and watch that interview.
I'm gonna go take my medicine, but
You
he
know,
was kissing by.
Carney said that they'll never sell. You know why Trump knows they'll never sell? Because he ain't buying. He don't need to buy. Watch.
You know what, Grant? There were other people that watched it too, and they're awfully quiet
What people?
in the room.
Oh,
They're
in this room?
awfully
Well,
quiet.
shoot, why don't they
Yeah,
speak
Chad,
up?
I
The
got
other
you.
people who
they
watched
are
it,
awfully quiet.
let's
Yeah,
hear from those
I'm
people.
with Chad on this one though.
Chad too.
Carney looks strong.
Carney looks
okay.
strong.
I'm
Oh
He
my
not
was
gonna
God.
argue with
surprised
an
to
idiot,
see.
but
Jonathan Bing, you think Carney looks strong?
I think he said all the right things. He told him like, hey, certain buildings aren't for sale. Certain real estate isn't for sale. This building being one of them. Talk about the White House, and then he said Buckingham Palace as well as Canada. So he said all the right things. Chat, are
That's
you
not
there?
what he
Chat,
asked you though.
I'm
yeah.
here.
Chat, you want to play that video? I want guys. I want to play a video. I want to clear something up here. Chat, drop that video.
Hey
Not want
Grant, you see
ever
how he,
be a slave.
Grant, you
I
see how he
always
didn't
have
answer your
said to
question?
anybody that if you're going to work so hard.
Okay, guys, if you guys can
Bruh.
see, good, chat.
Well, now I gotta restart it.
All right, guys. So this is to clear up something that happened the other day. So I'm gonna play it a couple times tonight because it
I
just
always have said to anybody that if you're going to work so hard, you might as well make money working that hard. Unless you're working in charity. I mean, if you are working in philanthropy, you still want to make money for the charity. It's good to get paid for your labor. It's one of the saddest things that's ever happened to humanity is slavery. You do not want ever be a slave. I always have said to anybody that if you're going to work so
That's
hard,
my
you might as well
interview
make
with
so
money
Martha
working
Stewart.
that hard. Unless
yes,
you're working in
it is,
charity.
and that
I mean, if you are working in
I know, and that's why I grabbed it, Grant, because I happened to come across it today, and when I saw that, and Martha Stewart said that the same thing, I wanted to play that because of what was the other night, and the language that you use is out there, and it's not offensive language. It's just I just wanted to play that over and over again. That is your interview with Martha Stewart. You're absolutely correct, Grant.
There was only 12,000 people in the room and another 150,000 online, and no one was triggered by it like a week
No,
ago.
but that's why when I came across that, see, I saw it and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna play this shit. So, guys, I'm gonna play it again because we got more people gonna be here later on. But I
I can't
definitely
see
want
the video. Do I look good?
you look like Grant.
Grant,
This
go
guy,
out and
you
come
look
back
like
in
Grant.
so you can see yourself.
You look
Then
like
come right
Grant.
back in. You'll be co-hosted, and then you can see it.
Yeah, I had this leave right out and come right back in. You look like Grant. But absolutely. So, guys, I wanted to put that out there because that's more about the story. So, and I was looking at it and like, what the hell? And then I was like, you know what, man? It's like I want to because no one responded, and there was no. I looked at all the messages at the bottom, the comments at the bottom, and I just wanted to put that out there. So 100%, you look younger than real life.
That
Do not want ever
but
be a
but but
slave.
that was
I always have said to anybody that if you're going to work so hard, you might as well make money working that hard. Unless you're working in charity. I mean, if you are working in philanthropy, you still want to make money for the charity. It's good to get paid for your labor. It's one of the saddest things that's ever happened to humanity is slavery. You do not want ever be a slave. I always.
So yeah, there it is, guys. So I looked at the comments, and it was like nothing offensive. Um, all the comments were positive. Just wanted to put that out there real quick. But you know what? I think Carney today came in and looked like a boss. Trump knows that he has a formidable opponent, and I think Canada is in good hands. I think Donald Trump overplayed his hand. They would
You
have had
need to
a
play
they
that
would have.
interview with Carney and Trump and let us dissect it here, because you guys are watching a different interview than the one I saw. The dude talked. Donald Trump spoke for at least 85% of the time with Carney sitting there holding his dick.
Hey, chat, if you can find something with the highlights of the video, okay, like highlights of that meeting, that exchange, the highlights.
Yeah,
Let's
make
do
sure
that.
it's not left leaning either.
Great if she could play the part where Carney says that Trump is such a transformational
Yes.
president. He just can't wait to get to
Boom.
work with him, and he's so excited. I'd love to hear that.
Yes.
Look at his
No,
Okay,
face.
they're not going to
Grant,
show that,
Yeah. Nah,
Diana.
look at
That's
his
too
face.
real.
Grant. Listen to me. He is transformational. I told you, he's gonna be the most consequential president that we've ever had. I said that, and I stand by that.
Yeah,
I
he's going to
stand
go
by that.
down as the greatest president America's ever
No,
had. You're
no,
right.
no, no.
That's
Consequential.
right.
The most consequential. I said what I said.
That's because he's going to get so many results.
That can be a good thing.
That can be a good thing. You're right, but he will be the most consequential. Either way, he will be the most consequential. So,
Picking a
Can a
word where it can
Canadian
be
jump
read
in?
either way.
Can a Canadian jump in?
Yeah, I was
okay,
about to get
go ahead,
Bob.
Canadian. Go
Only if
ahead,
you support Trump.
Well,
go ahead, Terry.
listen, you know what? I'm going to tell you right now what happened with Carney today. I didn't like the way he looked. I'm going to be straight up, but I know why. The mistake was that he went into the White House and the press corps directed most of the questions to Trump, which basically gave the impression that he was sitting there holding his dick, which he was because most of the questions were addressed to Trump. So don't really know what basically happened, but when he said he's the most transformational president, that was a tongue-in-cheek comment because he's transformational, but that doesn't mean that it's in a good way. But that means that, hey, Canada's going to be transformational too. I'll wait to see what happens. Today was just kind of a blah thing, but I would meet on the neutral side next time and away from that press corps. And I'll land with that.
I agree.
Can we, hey, chat, can you just find the part where he's saying he's transformational? Because there was no tongue in cheek. That was a genuine
Okay.
compliment. And in addition to that, he then went on to say, President Trump is doing what's best for the American employee, the worker, the middle class. You guys listened to the whole thing. I couldn't believe I was seeing this guy do this. And that's when I text Jonathan and said, oh, Trump threw his support. What was the other guy he was running against? What was second place's name?
You talking about the conservative?
Yeah. Trump threw his support to the conservative to get this guy elected.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So
He
yeah.
wanted this guy, Jonathan.
Play it,
You
chat.
know,
Play
you
the
know,
It was
Grant.
highlights.
probably one of the greatest comebacks in the history of politics.
Grant,
Even greater than mine. The history of Canada and the U.S. is we're stronger when we work together, and there's many opportunities to work together. And
I won't say this about Mark,
But I didn't like his predecessor. I didn't like a person that worked for. She was terrible.
Having met with the owners of Canada over the course of the campaign last several months, it's not for sale, won't be for sale ever.
I say, never say never. I've had many, many things that were not doable, and they ended up being doable, and only doable in a very friendly way.
Have you asked the president to stop calling Canada the
Yes.
51st state?
Yes. Today.
Nah, we need a little more than that because
Well, she chopped it up. It's too chopped up.
yeah, it's too chopped up. Yeah, it's way too chopped.
You need to see the interview. But even that was good.
Because
Show
the
the interview.
the part where he was saying, it's not for sale, will never be for sale. I mean, it wasn't even it. Let's be honest. If you could just rewind it back to that point, that wasn't even directed.
You just
Trump.
said it's too chopped up, bro. Why
No,
would
no,
you
no,
want her
no,
to
no, no,
rewind it
no, no,
back?
no. But we can at least listen to that. It wasn't even direct. You can be honest, JB. Like, let's be honest. You can't say the way he was saying that it's as if he was sending a direct message to Trump, like, "Hey, bro, Canada ain't for sale." Nah, 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 nah. He was just rolling it into his sentence. Go ahead and play that part. Listen to now. Don't
Canada ain't for
you
sale. That
smile all you
doesn't
want.
mean Canada ain't for sale, I
And,
guess.
play the clip, man. Let the clip play to speak for
There
itself.
was no like conviction behind his voice. I didn't
Not that.
believe him when he
Thank you,
said it.
Danny. He
There
just
was no
rolled it in
conviction.
there.
I was just
Hang
like,
Like he
on.
didn't
People
even
who
believe
say
that
things
shit.
aren't for
he
sale
sure didn't.
typically are for
I
sale.
agree.
Let's just be clear.
He didn't even believe
And
his
when you
own
say something
statement.
like that, there gotta be conviction.
Like
Canada's not for sale. Say it with your chest.
that man didn't even believe his own statement.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'm on the edge of my seat, actually. But thank you for your hospitality and above all for your leadership. You're a transformational president. Focus on the economy with a relentless focus on the American worker, securing your borders, providing ending the scourge of fentanyl and other opioids, and securing the world. And
Just stop it right there, Chad.
with
Dude, just that 20 seconds. Come on.
Yeah, understand what is going on here, Grant. Okay, Grant, this is one of the most successful meetings that you've seen in that White House. This man studied Trump. What he did was to stroke his ego, and by stroking his
Yep.
ego, Trump fell
It was
directly into his
offensive.
lap. Okay,
Well,
Trump fell directly into his lap, silenced all his watchdog. Even Vance was there, Rubio was there. None of them contributed, and he had that opportunity to school Trump without Trump even interjecting. When he contradicted him and told him that, listen, Canada in actuality is one of the greatest traders in the United States. Okay, contradicting Trump. This man went there and he came out with
Sir
100%
Jude,
flying colors.
Sir Jude, I agree. He could have been just stroking his ego,
He was.
and
That,
great,
that
great,
everyone knows that, Grant. Everyone says
whatever,
stroke his ego. Everyone does that.
whatever.
That's
Guess
it.
what? 7 billion other people heard the same shit.
And
It's
he
You're
was
all
stroking
good,
his
man. You
ego.
got to base
transformational.
the
Wait a minute.
turkey.
You're transformational. You're first for the American economy, for the American worker. Bro, that was,
Right.
For the American people,
Yeah,
the
but
fentanyl
Ripping
transformational
Right.
his
He
though,
said the
sarcasm.
you're reading
world.
too much meaning
and
into
for the world,
transformational.
Diana. He said for the world.
Yeah,
He
that's
was
crazy. He
stroking his
said for the
ego.
world.
Shit,
Uh,
that guy couldn't. You can't write a campaign speech better than
he
that
was
shit.
stroking his ego because he
It
knows what he
doesn't
wants to
matter
hear.
though.
Okay,
Like I
Yeah,
but
That's
that
said,
that's
was
what
that
see,
was
the
Janaya.
way that
transformation.
he
Now,
said it shows that he was stroking his ego. It
Yes.
didn't really mean it. But I got you.
see,
okay,
don't
once
get
You
carried
got to
again,
away,
base.
Got it, though.
Grant.
Go ahead. Yeah, he's
You
for
got
the
to
American
base.
workers.
Yeah,
Sure is. Gotcha.
You got to base the turkey to keep it juicy, Grant. Even you know that. I mean, come, you know how to cook a turkey, don't you? Listen,
okay, but guys, are
fact
you
no no
saying
but
he?
fact of the matter is let's basically go back to one of the key lines that Carney said that nobody's talking about. He said we are America's best and premier trading partner. Then they put a chart up, and we're bigger than Mexico, and as a matter of fact we're bigger than most countries. The only other country that can surpass us, and they're not even a country, is the European Union. So really, in essence, what we're basically sending is a slap shot across the pond here. Let you know that, hey, look, you're looking out for the American worker, absolutely, but we've got to look out for the Canadian worker, and we're gonna do our thing. And Trump said, I hope you guys can basically make it economically. We'll figure it out. We're good. We can stand a winter. We sure as hell can stand to basically base the turkey like Trump.
So right
That's
now,
a
you
big
guys are
timeout
saying
here.
that
This is a
because
red flag.
There you
Marty,
go.
did you just
be,
hear what just
dude,
been said?
because he basically what they're saying, Storm, is because he went in there and stroked his ego like he wanted to. That's why he came out on top on this meeting, and that's why he looked bigger, and that's why he, bro. Are you guys out of your damn mind? Like, get the fuck out of here. Okay, so what you just
What?
mentioned, right? And what to what you just mentioned. What did he get out of this meeting, right? To where he came in, okay. His game plan was to stroke his ego, right? Okay, and then what? What just not look
Did
what
Trump come
the
out?
guy? Go ahead.
He
Did
stroked
Trump
his
do
ego.
anything? This was a squash meeting. If he goes in there acting like Zelensky, we've all seen Zelensky get pimp walked out of the freaking White House. That's not what we wanted to do. We came in with a different approach. And you know what? Trump is like, he's a very nice guy. That's a nice man. Congratulations on your election and all of that. So they were throwing niceties, but I didn't like that Trump was talking about, hey, we owe this and you guys basically we subsidize you, but we'll protect you anyways. So nothing has changed, Marty. This was a freaking wash of an interview,
I
kind
mean,
of
for
like
sure it
yesterday.
was. Absolutely. Absolutely. What I
Marty,
my
Marty, can
point,
I point one thing out real
please, yes,
quick?
Storm, jump in,
Because
jump in.
this is where we're all missing the boat here. Who survives, right? Who's the bigger economy? The United States or Canada? If Canada and the United States are big trade partners and the United States decides not to play nice, guess what? Canada is the one who suffers because there's so much export going out through Canada that if you shut down that pipeline, they are cooked. And I'm guaranteeing you that the United States will find other trade partners. We will always find a way to get what we want, whether it be through Canada, whether it be through Mexico, whether it be through Europe. So if you think that Canada has a position of what we call leverage and power, you are sorely mistaken. Canada needs the United States more than the United States needs Canada by far.
Well,
Can
that's
we?
that's
Can
debatable, though. But
America
listen to
needs
this,
friends
though.
right now. I'm confused. Okay, so wait, hold on, wait. So Canada needs United States more than the United States is Canada, right? But last time I checked, we're pissing off everybody in the world, and Canada is trading with Mexico and Europe and other countries, and we are trying to figure out who they're trading with because this fool decided to do all these damn tariffs that now we're taxed to death. So yeah, there's that.
Can that clip be played again? Because I feel like there is a word that was said that you guys are all skipping over, where he said, Carney said that Trump is very focused on all of these different elements. Just because he's focused doesn't mean that Trump's doing a good job. And transformational, that also doesn't mean
Yeah,
it's a
play it
good
again. Play it
transformation.
again.
Exactly, Kelly.
I'd like to
Thank
say a
you.
few
As a matter of
words.
fact, and let it
Well,
play
thank you,
to the
Mr.
part
President.
where
I'm on
he
the edge of
gets.
my seat, actually. But thank you for your hospitality and above all for your leadership. You're a
Leadership.
transformational president, focused on the
Transformational.
economy with a relentless focus on the American worker, securing
Relentless
the
focus.
borders,
Focus, a relentless focus.
providing
That doesn't mean he's
ending the
doing a good
scourge of
job.
fentanyl
That's a
and other
great thing.
opioids, and
Relentless
securing the world.
focus.
And I've been elected
Securing the world.
with my colleagues here, securing your borders,
Securing the
providing
border.
ending the scourge of fentanyl, and other
But
opioids,
rewind.
and
Again,
securing the
rewind,
world.
because he prefaced all of this
But
with
thank
a
you for your
relentless focus
hospitality
of these things.
and above all
And
for your
anybody
leadership.
described
Exactly.
with a
Why
relentless
Your
would you
focus
take that as
transformation.
an
is very
insult? If
admirable.
anybody said that to you and take that as an insult, I don't get why you're trying to
If
make it seem
somebody
like you're
said
Compliment.
Grant
down.
Cardone
If
has
someone said
relentless
you're
focus,
relentlessly focused, you wouldn't be like, "What the heck? Why would you say that? That's
Yeah.
baby,
insulting."
that is one of the biggest compliments a human being can get.
Facts.
Relentless focus?
What are you talking about?
Yes.
Relentless focus is a great
Especially for
compliment.
entrepreneurs. Yes.
Yes, because what you focus on expands. So you
Bam.
absolutely have to
Thank
focus.
you.
Hmm.
That's
So
good.
how does he go to the American
That's
worker
not
when
a
he's
good
starting with
one.
people?
Listen,
That
Somebody
doesn't
need a
mean that he's
dictionary.
doing a
Okay,
good
okay.
job at it. You
Yeah,
can
it does.
no,
It
relentlessly
does
focus
mean
on a lot of things and still do a poor ass job. Doesn't mean you're doing a Kelly, good let's job.
nobody
Kelly,
gets
let's
Exactly,
be
nobody
Kelly.
realistic. Let's be
nobody
realistic here.
gets told they have relentless focus is losing.
And what did he talk about the world, Grant? He said he's focused on, saving the world or something
Securing
like
the
that.
world.
Thank you.
That was hilarious.
Exactly.
That's
He's a
That was
world
exactly
saver,
right.
people.
hilarious. He's not a world saver. He's destroying the world. What are you talking about?
Oh
How is
my
he
But
God.
destroying
When you
the
exactly.
de
world,
escalate war,
Anaya?
are you
Oh my
kidding
How
me?
is
goodness,
he
are you
destroying
kidding?
the
How is he destroying
world?
the? Let's see. Where do we start? Let's see.
Yes,
All
give us
these
the top three
all these
reasons.
all these all these tariffs. It's screwing up all the trade. That's clear. Let's see. What else is he doing? And then when it comes to the American worker, how is he saving the American worker? Just trying to figure that part out. So last
You
time
No,
I
no, no.
checked,
didn't
he
Don't
was
ask us
firing
see?
all the
how. No,
people.
no, no. Don't ask us how.
Yeah,
Give
don't
us the
ask us
reasons on
how. You're
how
supposed to
He's,
he
know
I
it
said,
is
all.
I said,
destroying
how is he?
America.
No, I said, how is he? How he's firing all these workers? So how is that helping the American worker? He's firing. He's shutting down all these companies, shutting down all these organizations, shutting down Social Security offices. How is this helping the American worker? I'm
Yeah,
just
how
confused.
many has he fired? How many companies has he shut down? Come on, you got to give us stats here.
I don't have
Yeah,
to use
yeah.
stats.
How many companies have been
Really?
shut down?
Let's see.
I
Social
don't think he
Security.
shut
No,
down
just give
any
me one
companies.
company
He's
that's been
shutting
shut down.
he's shutting down Social Security offices. Yes, all around the
Maybe he's
country.
firing
Is
to
that
hire
happening or
other
Yes.
no?
people.
Yep.
Maybe
That's
he's
happening,
firing to
right?
hire other people.
Yes, he has.
He's shutting
Well,
down. Let's see. He's firing teachers. He's closing libraries. I mean,
Well,
Trump is
name
teachers
one
are
firing
teacher
including
he's
you
sucking.
know,
fired.
Teachers are sucking right now. In
wait, wait,
California,
wait, wait,
little
wait,
boys
wait,
are
wait. Hold
Time
on,
dying.
hold on.
out.
One
Well,
second.
Time
well,
One
hold
out.
on,
mic.
That
one
was your
mic,
Hold on.
statement.
One second. One mic.
one
One
mic,
mic.
guys,
can
one
I
mic,
ask you
one
one
mic,
stuff?
one mic,
One
one mic,
mic.
guys,
No.
one mic. Yeah, yeah, guys, yeah. First of all, yeah, Trump's
Teachers
not
are being
firing.
fired, JB. I just want that
One second,
clarification.
one second. Teachers, I just want to jump in because there's a lot of misinformation going on. Trump is not responsible for firing teachers. Okay, that's the state, that's the
Thank you.
municipality, that's the city. So I just want to jump in when people are saying stuff like that to correct that. So that's not what's happening here. So guys, let's be careful. Hey, guys, and also, guys, welcome to Debate the News. If you guys are listening to us on the podcast, please do me a favor, download the Chatter Social app. The Chatter Social app can be downloaded on either the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store. Free of charge, guys. You guys are able to come in here and participate in these conversations. Also, if you're in the audience right now, believe it or not, I think it's like 57% of you guys are not downloading or not following the podcast. Okay. If you guys do me a favor, take a moment and follow the podcast. The link's up top. We come in every night and we do this and it's just a labor of love. That's the only social currency we request is that you guys follow the podcast, download a few episodes as well. So we're speaking right now about Carney and Trump, the meeting at the White House, as well as Kashmir, which is India and Pakistan. What's going on? And we have other things we're going to jump back in, but I want to go back to this Carney the discussion that we're having. And Marty, you're about to say something. I jumped in. Go ahead, sir.
I mean,
No,
while
no, no. It's all yours, man. It's all yours. I'm sorry. I just wanted to make sure because when she had said, because we were asking how Trump destroyed America, we don't have to go back to that, but it was just, I just needed clarification because nowhere did I see Trump was firing teachers, but you answered that. That was cool. That was it.
Close another public education, but go ahead. Go ahead. Keep going.
I mean, look, I can jump in with some real stats because I heard it with my own two ears and saw it with all three eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Carney is now leader number 4 that joins with Israel, Italia, India, and now, yes, even Canada, that have all sat in that beautiful office and said, thank you, President Trump, for your leadership, your transformational way of readjusting things. And we cannot wait to do business with you. We cannot wait to work with you. So I'm just telling you guys, right? Here is the problem for people who don't like Trump. In my opinion, the more buy in he gets from all of these other world leaders, they're proving you guys incorrect, or they're proving that you guys too may have your own troll in your leadership. Because to me, I'm surprised that so many of you guys do not think that what Carney did just elevates Trump, especially with his constituents, with his demographic of people. I'm sorry, but this is now the fourth time that I see people address him in a way that makes it so that they're at least listening to him, which I don't think was happening in the previous administration.
But Diana,
Wait,
they
wait.
go in four of them exactly going exactly do the same thing. First of all, Jonathan, somebody changed your title and spelled it wrong. But they go in and they all do exactly the same thing. Does it seem a little suspicious?
No, they do
Like
not all
like
do the same thing.
they're doing the
Zelensky
same
didn't
thing.
do
They're
this.
all
No,
stroking his
Zelensky did
ego.
not Zelensky. He didn't do the same thing, and we still negotiated a pretty decent deal.
Okay. So all of them are going in, and where are other than Zelensky? There's no trade deals from any of these people yet.
But did you hear what I said though, Jonathan?
I heard what you said.
Listen,
I think it's crazy.
Zelensky you may think it's crazy, but it's the results that we have to pay attention to because
I'm looking for the
Zelensky's
results.
meeting.
Where are the
Well, look,
results,
you
Diana?
you said everybody goes and strokes his ego. Zelensky
Yep.
didn't do that, so that comment is incorrect, right? We saw that that's not true. And still, even under that relationship, we did execute a decent deal, right? Imagine what
Being
he'll
read your
be able to
messages.
do.
Zelensky stroked his
Well,
ego,
hold on
first
one
of all.
second.
I'm so
But
sorry,
Hold on.
Diana.
Give me 1 second. Let me land.
I am so sorry
Let me
because
land,
Canadians
Tammy.
are
Let
saying the
Tammy, let
same
me
thing.
land.
Okay,
Let me
let you
land.
land.
Thank you. Imagine what he'll be able to do with people who actually like him and are looking forward to working with him. I'm sorry, you guys. I think
there,
you're wrong on this one. Let Tammy go ahead.
what? Can
So,
I
as
finish
I
what I was
was,
saying to you? But okay, go
Jonathan,
ahead,
go
Let
Tammy.
ahead,
Jonathan go
Jonathan. Go
ahead.
ahead,
Listen, I don't care.
Jonathan.
Just start talking.
No, so obviously Zelensky stroked his ego because he left, and then the next day he apologized and he went, "Oh, you're so good, Donald Trump, yay!" So don't tell me that they all didn't stroke his ego.
So
I
what's
mean,
your
Yes.
point?
how have
What's your
Jonathan,
we?
you're
Let
point?
me let me
That's how
say this.
business
absolutely
works. Stroke
right.
your ego. I want
They
to know what's your
did.
point. What is your
He was,
point that he's
I
stroking
was
his ego?
he was,
disputing. I was disputing Diana's fact that people going into the White House saying he's great means he's great because it doesn't mean he's great. He wasn't telling. Carney
How
was
many
not
people?
saying
How
you're
many people
amazing.
told you you're amazing, but they walk away from you and stab you in the back?
Most
Is this
people.
something we? Okay, so
That,
there we
that's
go.
what
Most
that's what
people
he's
do
that,
that.
but
You know
that's
what
what
you
he's
you know what your
saying,
problem is?
Cindy.
You guys sometimes are so busy looking to the right that you don't look to the left.
Cindy, you
You
actually
don't
agree
see
with
what he's
You
him on
just
trying to
that.
agreed
add.
with me,
I know he
Cindy.
is. I know he is. But
No,
what I'm saying
you agreed
in a
with
whole,
him though,
in a
right there.
whole, I think that you guys really don't. After all this time, you don't understand his play, which is so scary to me that you don't understand it.
I understand
He
his play, and
wants
so
you.
do the other people in
He
the
wants
the.
you to look to the right, so everybody looks to the left. Don't undermine what that brain can do. I'm serious. Like he's got a different brain in that head, and
But
you feed
Uh,
Cindy,
right
uh,
into it. You guys feed right into it, and he
no,
loves it. He loves it. He's smart. He loves it. He knows exactly how to get mainstream media cuckoo crazy, and then make all you guys cuckoo crazy too.
I don't care
that's
about the media, Cindy. The
hold on
people
real
are
quick,
literally
Jonathan,
prominent.
because you're
Yeah,
not
go
gonna
ahead.
go. You're not gonna say it. I'm gonna say it. Cindy, y'all, you and Jonathan just agreed on the same point. You just agreed. Jonathan, I don't know why you want to roll past it.
No, no, no.
No, I
But
was gonna
that
say
that's
she.
that's
I,
that's a
but I
place where you
wanted
all
to add to
can
that chat,
start there.
and I
That's all I'm
wanted
saying.
to add to that. I wanted to add to that what he said.
hmm I
so,
just
Jonathan.
wanted
As
there.
I'm
Y'all
now
did it.
taking the floor. I'm taking the mic.
Jonathan. No, I interrupted Jonathan. Tammy. So
Okay.
Jonathan needs to finish, and then you can
Okay.
go.
Go ahead.
Are
My
you okay?
point
You
was
sound like you
that
got a cold. Go ahead.
she has a
Sorry.
cold. She's not feeling well. So my point was that they're saying this to his face, and they're doing something different behind his back, which he may not be seeing, or you guys might not be seeing, but that's what's happening. He's the people that come into the White House and stroke
Bro,
his ego are stroking his
the
ego.
whole world saw one thing today. What are you talking
Yep.
about?
I saw one thing too.
Hmm.
It was Carney, which it's spelled with an Y at the end, by the way. Um, was stroking Trump's ego to
Okay,
say, "Oh, you're great,"
that's
but he's
fine.
not going to do that. He's not going
Headline
to do.
here, by the way.
uh, I
Headline.
can't hear you
Headline.
because your mic's
Grant,
off.
your
Canada,
mic is
Canadian Prime
muffled, friend.
Minister.
Did you land, Jonathan?
I'm
Canadian
gonna
Prime
land. Yeah,
Minister
good.
calls Donald
Okay.
Trump
So hold on,
transformational.
Grant. Take
No, no, I'm
your
not going to
turn.
hold on.
Get
Okay,
a ticket and wait.
because
I've got the mic.
I don't need to
I've
wait.
got the mic.
One,
Because
one
Jonathan
second.
landed.
One
Tammy.
second. One second. Because one of the things I was waiting to jump in on is, and I've been waiting to jump in.
And then
It's
Kat
the,
said that after
okay.
Jonathan landed.
Yeah. Don't do that. If I just say I'm jumping in. What I think the most important thing here is
Tammy's got a ticket, but she doesn't understand you're a VIP.
so is that everyone comes to say the same thing because everyone says that Grant, that Trump, all you have to do is flatter him. So everyone's following the same um, tactic. They're all flattering him. Okay, and that's the word about it. They say, and that's the I guess the research that people have done, and sort of like before all these presidents meet with a world leader, they're given different talking points, and they're given a psych profile on that. And Trump's psych profile says he loves flattery, and everyone flatters him, over flatters him. And you guys are saying, when people are saying this, you guys aren't even offended by that. You guys are like, yeah, yeah, you hear what they're saying, you hear what they're saying. When really they come in and do that, it's a mockery. It's not really flattery. I'll land.
Okay, well, let me pick it up where you land. Tomorrow, the headlines in the UK will be Canadian Prime Minister Carney calls Donald Trump transformational president. Headlines in India. Canadian Prime Minister. Bro, it's going to be the same thing all over the world. Headlines everywhere saying what he said that came out of his mouth, not, oh, he left there and told somebody behind his back Trump's a bullshitter, whatever. Like, I don't know. You guys get a stage, man. Study how the world really works. And by the way, do you guys think that anybody walks into the White House under any president and doesn't compliment the president of the United States?
So
That's
when he says
given. Yeah.
Thank you,
transformational,
Grant.
when he says transformational, you really have to look at the basically look of the words, because the word is transformational, but it doesn't mean good. And this is what I can't believe. Like, I'm sitting there laughing my ass off, because transformational doesn't mean it's good. It just means that he's changing his approach, and it hasn't been necessarily good for
With
everyone
all
in life. And
compliments
so
behind it.
he used that word
With all
transformational
compliments
tongue in cheek.
behind it. With
So I
all
don't.
compliments behind it, buddy.
He's
Yeah,
He
compliments.
mocking
just didn't
him.
use the word. Did you listen to it?
I've listened to it three
He
times.
just didn't use a word. It was
Can I
one
read the
compliment
definition of the
after
word?
another after another. Maybe we can look at that. He's a classy guy, came into the White House, does the right thing like most do. What do you think? Other presidents don't walk out in and out and go, "Oh God, what a piece of shit." Oh God, do you think Obama, all of them, that, oh Clinton, oh this one, yeah, they all act like buddies. Then they leave, and what happens? Talk him, talk this one. Come on,
Since
let's
since
be
since
Can
realistic.
I read the
everybody
definition of the word
That's
since y'all
the
are
let
point.
me
putting
But
since
the
up with the
bottom
everybody
line is,
definition?
we don't know what they say when they leave. But he said what he said, and yes, that's going to transfer over into all the
yeah,
media.
and Cindy, I'm looking up. I just asked Grok what the word transformational means. For those of you who are trying to hang your hat on this fucking dumbass argument, transformational is generally a positive word implying significant, meaningful change or improvement associated with growth, innovation, or progress. However, its tone can depend on context. If the transformation is unwanted or disruptive, it might carry a neutral or negative connotation. So if that's what you're suggesting, that, bro, everybody wants transformation right now. So it could, the context, some of you saying is negative. If you don't want change, transformational is not positive. But for those of us, a majority of America, who voted for change, this is exactly what we want to hear.
But Carney was saying it from a Canadian perspective, and we didn't want that change. So for us, transformational has been more in a negative connotation. So thank you very much for validating that point, Grant.
I
I really
agree, and
He
I
appreciate
did
and
How do
I
you
not
know he
agree
was
with
he
saying
you.
it from a
did not
Canadian
deliver it
perspective, it
that
though?
way. He
It
did
was
not deliver it that way.
mockery.
You might want to listen a little better. He did not deliver it that way.
he made
And for
and
those
that
who
was
are
He
the
saying it
whole
delivered
was
it
point.
in a
It was
very
mockery,
so
what?
well
positive way.
masked. It was so well masked that he didn't need to deliver it that way, because the way he did it, Trump is like basking, is like, oh, Carney, we love Canada. Oh, like, it's like, holy smokes, come on, people. Like, we've basically have been on the front, and Carney understands that, look, we got to stroke this guy. We got to base the turkey.
Weren't you the
That's
one
all that
earlier
is.
that said you were the disappointed Canadian, or was that another disappointed
No, no,
Canadian?
I was
And what are you talking
disappointed
about?
at the fact. What I'm talking about, if you listen to me very carefully, is that I did not want Carney to go to the White House, because when he goes to the White House, that press corps is is pushing all the questions to Trump, and so that looked bad, because every single question that was fielded that Carney actually answered, he had to interject practically. So 85% of the mic, like Grant said, was on Trump. So that room, whenever there's a foreign leader that comes in, Trump always takes the stage. So as far as I'm concerned, don't go there. That's what I was
But it
disappointed
wasn't a
about.
debate, it was just a conversation.
Yeah, but the media asked all questions to Trump,
Yeah, but
which made
when
it look like which made it look like Carney was just a bystander, and that's what I didn't like, Diana. I'll end
Can
with that.
I want to play this real quick, guys. Hold on a second.
I would love that. Look, I have a lot of respect for this man, and I watched him come up in a sense through the ranks when he wasn't given much of a chance, and he ran a really great campaign. He did a really great debate. I think that debate was very helpful. I was going to raise my hand. I don't know if that's good or bad. I shouldn't say that. It might hurt you. But no, he ran a really great election, I thought. And yeah, something could happen. Something could happen. Yeah, please. Concession? Friendship. No, we're going to be friends with Canada. Regardless of anything, we're going to be friends with Canada. Canada is a very special place to me. I know so many people that live in Canada. My parents had relatives that lived in Canada. My mother and
He wants friendship now.
In that sweet.
Oh,
Bro, are you serious?
oh, he
That's a
wants
loving
Are you for
friendship
president
real?
there, Chat. That's
now.
your
Welcome to
president.
politics,
I
Chat.
Are
love
you for real?
it.
When does Trump not speak like that
I
about
just
majority
he
of
wants
people?
friendship.
Even
Oh,
people he speaks badly about, he'll turn around and
oh
yeah, that's a good guy. I mean, come
pumpkin.
on.
Oh,
Come
pumpkin.
on.
He wants
Really? Ay,
even
ay, ay.
even Cindy recognized he's playing politic, Marty. Like, get with the program, bro.
They're all playing
But
politics. Come
That's
on.
what
Exactly.
they
Like,
are. They're
But
come
the difference,
politicians.
on.
that's my
hold
point.
on.
Is right. What he's
When
saying
y'all
right now,
deny it, y'all make it worse.
it's
Like,
not
just be
nobody's
honest. You
denying. Nobody's
were. You just
denying.
did. Now you're
But the
gonna
what
But
flip
you
no,
flop
were
I'm not
denying.
again.
denying. What I'm trying
Go
to
ahead and
say,
flip flop
I'm not
They
again.
are
denying.
in denial.
Isn't it
I'm,
better?
I'm not
Isn't it? Hold on. Isn't it better that they do work things out? Hello.
yeah,
Hello,
Cindy, nobody's
yes.
denying anything.
But
Even if they end
Hello.
up disliking each other, isn't it better that they listen? Candace never causes problems. Let's call it the way it is, okay?
Somebody admitted something, right?
No, come on. No one in here is thinking that, oh my God, Canada could ever hurt America. That's not true. We actually, probably all of us in this room have friends or relatives in Canada. I know I have many friends. So,
Well, my neighbor got deported 2 months ago, so there's that.
well, was your neighbor what?
He went back to Canada. They made him go back to Canada.
Then he wasn't here legally.
He wasn't.
I
Okay.
hope he doesn't owe you no money.
He doesn't.
Sir Jude. I'm beginning to think Sir Jude's Canadian. I don't even know where you're at.
Hey, watch it.
You still keep your identity a mystery, Sir Jude. We always wonder.
Keep on wondering.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
know,
Sir
when we
Jude's a
talking
white
about
man from Boston.
That's what I thought. Bam.
Hey, not on Boston here. I know you're all jealous. You can't be from Boston, but it's okay. Don't be jealous of Boston.
I don't think you guys like Canada. You always cut it up. Anyways, doesn't matter. We've always been allies. When we've been enemies. Tell me that.
Never.
Cause y'all
Okay.
people from Canada got dry skin. That's the
Plus,
problem.
we
Uh,
need your hockey. Plus, we
You
need your
better
hockey
keep your
players.
mouth quiet.
yeah. Well, you know.
We be using our shea butter and cocoa butter. Better go sit down with that.
Yeah. Okay.
we need our syrup also.
I got a whole case here. Grant, you're coming in May. I'll give you a case of maple syrup. Take back, okay?
Focus on arguing right now. We're getting along too much. This is debate the news, not let's get some maple syrup from Norman. Let's go.
No, yeah, Storm. You know what? Love you, buddy. Okay, everybody wants the maple syrup. You know that's worth gold.
Let's all right. So you want to fight? Let's back it up. It seems we forget that
particular.
2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, I don't know, some odd weeks ago, we heard Trump say, "Oh, this is a horrible deal. Whoever made this deal with Canada is the worst, and they suck." Who made the motherfucking deal? Right? Who made that deal? Who made people like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna solve our problems now"? Who started the problems? Who wanted the problem with Canada? And so now it's just and this is being called a play. I don't know. When do we score the goal if this is the play? Because
Okay,
one,
what deal? What
Are you
deal
going to
was he?
talk
What
about the
deal was being
NAFTA
talked
deal?
about?
NAFTA, you talking about? What administration
no,
did that?
after
The
after
Kuzma
NAFTA.
one.
After.
NAFTA.
Okay.
After NAFTA. Who
Kuzma,
made the
Kuzma.
deal?
I know it was
Huh?
Obama or Biden administration or
No, he
Trump
made the
before
deal.
Biden.
Trump made the deal.
Thank
Trump
you. Sir
made the
Jude,
deal.
I was gonna defer to Sir Jude. Sir Jude, can you school them, please? Who
Yeah,
fumbled the ball? Who fumbled the ball, made problems, and now is trying to act like they're solving the problem? And y'all is
Mr.
taking the bait.
T.
Shit is crazy.
I
Not
just
really.
I
Have you
just
ever had
want
a
to know
fight with
one thing.
somebody and you become best friends afterwards? Hello.
Yeah, I just want to know one thing, Cindy. If
Happens a
somebody
lot.
in here, you guys want to
Hello.
make your own steel and
Hello.
do everything and not buy from us anymore. Is that possible economically to get that going? This about the steel tariffs and the auto and stuff.
Absolutely, Norman.
All we gotta do is
It is.
hire you dry skinned Canadians to come work for us, and we'll be all right.
Marty,
Marty better stop playing with
Marty,
us.
if you come this summer, I'm gonna do a Canadian tradition on you. I'm not gonna tell you what the fuck it is, okay? Don't worry.
Norman,
We're gonna do some voodoo on you.
Canada is not the only place that produces steel.
I
So
know,
yeah,
but we're
we'll
your
find a way to
closest.
get what we want. You'll find a way to get what you need too. So
I
why
can't.
is it that everybody
It
thinks this is
doesn't
going to be
matter.
the
He
end of the
removed
world if the
steel.
trade doesn't work?
Storm.
Yeah,
He removed steel. He removed lumber, and he removed stone out of the tariffs over there. Anyways, so what are we talking about?
he did.
I
Okay.
have no idea. We're just
All
wanting
those,
to bitch about
Storm.
something.
All those three things are not going to have tariffs on it. He's already announced that. So now what's up?
Let's go left. What else you going to argue about? Come on, man. Trump can't make a deal. Trump's the worst president in the world. Trump hates Canada. Anything else? Come on, let's go. Border.
He said he hates Canada, but he
Wait. So
wants to get back what's his.
You guys are
Right?
cheering that. Wait, 1 second. You guys are cheering that he has a horrible tariff policy, and everyone admits it's a horrible tariff policy. And he removed a couple of things out. And you guys are like saying, "Oh, let's go." Say, "Here you go. We're
Kind
winning."
of the most important things that we really buy a lot of.
I know,
To
but,
be
but
honest.
what I'm
It's
saying
a
to you,
great
Cindy, is
tariff policy.
okay. Here we go.
Let's go, TC.
I'm all worn out. I just left the debate with CEO and politically correct. Y'all go ahead and have it.
Well, you
I
only need about 10% of your arguing power in here to win. So let's go. Go
I
ahead, Grant.
cannot believe anybody here thinks that that was good for Canada or good for this prime minister. Well, I tell you something. I owe Yvonne a lunch when I go to Ottawa. That's all she's going to get. She won her little liberal lover for the next 4
No, it's
fucking
kind of
years.
funny because you live in Toronto, and Toronto wanted the other dudes. So come on.
What? She's 4.5 hours away. I'll drive there. I mean, and isn't this corny guy? Isn't he a central banker? He's actually Grant. He's
he's
actually in the
very
banking.
famous
He's
banker.
very smart in the banking and business
He's
sector.
an
A
And
lot of
economist.
well
shit going on
respected.
in New York.
Yeah. And how are you guys
He's
doing
so
financially
smart.
up there? How are you guys
He's
doing?
he's so smart, Grant, that he doesn't have a 30-year mortgage or a 20-year mortgage or a 15-year
How,
mortgage.
how smart financially? It's not good what he's doing. It's not good. He's got to.
Goldman Sachs recommended, highly recommended.
Can't lock your rate in on your home. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's so
well,
great.
Cindy, that's the way the Bank of Canada works, and they govern it. Is he going
Well,
to change it? I highly doubt he's going to do fuck
wouldn't
Hey,
you
all.
like
Norman,
it
isn't like
though?
a 400 square foot apartment in Toronto like $9 million?
No.
Yes.
The average home
No.
or apartment to rent right now, you're looking at anywhere from $2,200 to $3,000 for about, I don't know, downtown Toronto, 600 square feet if you're lucky. No parking
That's
spot.
Yeah,
pathetic.
it's
Yeah,
worse
That's
but
than
you
New
could go
exactly
to
York.
what he's trying.
Newfoundland. You
That's
could
what
go
he
to
just
Newfoundland and it's
insinuated, Norm.
$500.
Yeah, I
Come
know.
on.
It's
That's
expensive
expensive.
in Toronto. Come on.
It is,
Yeah,
even
that's
north of
New
the
York
city where I
City,
live.
Chicago. Come on.
And how do you guys live with
Taxes.
all those taxes and continue to have the cost of living? I mean, how the hell do y'all keep up,
Or
Norman?
we have free healthcare. I could go to the doctor anytime. I don't feel like going to work. I could go to the doctor for free.
Free
It's not.
healthcare doesn't
Comes
deter
out of our
Hold on, I'm
taxes.
answering
taxes.
your question. Are you asking a question?
Yes, please. Go ahead.
I get great health care. My roads are great. The schools are good. I have infrastructure. I live great. Like it's like my taxes, you can see what goes through the city and the country from it. Like it's not like we're collecting taxes and the place is a dump.
Yeah. So
And we're not
what do you
saddled
They
do?
with
I'm
also
just
don't
student
have
curious.
loans
people that
either.
blow up schools and have shootings
We
at
also
schools
just
either.
increased
Don't do that.
maternity leave. So now you could get 2.5 years off, ladies. So
When did that
Yeah.
happen?
I told them that. I told them
our
that.
taxes go into our
2
services, our
years.
welfare. Anything you need emergency rent paid, you could get it paid. Like we help one another. That's
You
where the
get
taxes go.
I got.
70% of your income.
while you're on mat leave for 2 years, and it's parental leave.
And you could get an additional 24 weeks of sickness benefits on top of that before.
So, Dancehall, can
Yeah,
I ask
I
you,
Tell
what
told
do
you
you
them,
do
guys.
for a
sister.
living?
Tell them. Tell
You
them.
guys have a great deal over
Right.
there. You basically pay what 65% of all your earned income goes to
45
taxes.
Grant,
Not true.
not
Okay.
Not true.
65 Grant.
Plus your
I'm a high
capital
earner
gains.
too.
After capital gains, you'll be at 65%
Fake
across the board.
news. Fake news.
Fake
Okay.
news. I'm living well,
So
thanks.
for every 100,000 that you earn, you pay 65,000
No, no,
Fake
no,
to the
no,
Fake
Okay,
social
so
news.
news.
I
communist
literally
state of
travel
Grant,
every
China.
no,
2
so
no,
weeks.
hold
no,
on,
Grant.
Grant. They get free health care. Meanwhile, they could pay $1,200 a month and get Blue Cross Blue Shield.
Exactly.
Okay, and
Fake
They just,
HMO.
news. Fake
So
unfortunately,
news.
their
wait up.
school
Why don't you
system
do
is
the
just
math?
basic math.
Do the
Our
math
school system is
equation.
actually one of the best in the world.
Do the
So
math
basically, would you
equation.
rather pay 14,000 a
Yeah.
year or pay 65,000 in taxes? What would you rather
We
pay,
do not
Cindy?
pay that in taxes per year.
We
And I
don't
That's
was
what
a
pay
it
that.
sounds like,
high,
honey.
very high income earner, and I'm retired now, and I still don't pay it. Stop it.
You're
Yeah,
retired.
I got a tax return and I'm a high earner as well. Thank you. $5,000.
$5,000 for what?
I got $5,000 tax return and
Yeah,
I'm
how
a
much
high
did you
earner.
pay
Okay,
in,
do you
Dancehall?
understand? You understand you didn't
Yeah,
get
I know
taxed.
you what you said, Grant.
You
You
only
told us
got your
whatever
own
what
money
tax
She
back,
knows.
return
She
means.
knows
Dancehall.
not
Yeah, I know
stupid.
what you mean.
You
I already
basically
know where
Knows
you're
she
overpaid the
going
not
with this.
government.
stupid. She
Excuse
knows
me.
I
that
know
if
You over
already, Grant. You
she
say it all the
knows.
no, no.
time.
Just so
I'm just
everybody else
letting you know
understands.
that I don't pay high taxes.
So
She
what?
didn't get a refund. She overpaid her
She
taxes
knows.
because
We
somebody
That's
gave her
know.
correct.
We
We
know.
know,
We know
Grant.
because
it.
somebody gave her bad
We
advice.
know.
You say,
How?
Grant,
We're
you
not
say this
Yvonne,
every
stupid.
2 days.
Yvonne, you know, she
But
We
You say
know
it. You
because
knows.
our
say it every 2 days
but
in here,
because
Grant.
Yvonne
Dancehall,
knows
Let
that
our
everybody
somebody
else
new
talk at once.
system,
knows.
and you
Grant.
come here
Grant, wait a
every
minute.
night
You know what's
spewing your
crazy,
What
free
is
Hey,
Yvonne?
no?
cake.
hey,
You
hey, hey, hey.
know.
Here's a
Yvonne
question that I want to know.
knows.
What does a high earner mean in your country? What does that mean? What's
Yeah,
a
how
high
much is
earner?
that?
30 grand.
Grant, stop it. Are you getting information from your buddy
That's
Yes,
so
Chris
funny.
Strong set?
I
10
My age is
grand.
higher.
know.
Somebody
Hold,
answer the
Grant,
All
Grant.
right,
question. What does a
okay.
high
I
earner
know.
Nobody's gonna
Okay,
come
one mic,
here
guys.
and
One
tell
mic, guys.
you.
One mic, guys. We
Nobody's
can't.
gonna come here
I
and
said
tell you
one
their
mic, please.
income.
One mic, guys. We can't talk over each other like that. And you guys, when I say one mic, it's one mic. Really, it is.
One
Because we
mic.
get the control back of the room. So once again, guys, we can't not be speaking over each other like that. Go ahead, guys. I don't. I want you guys to have the
My
discussion,
question
but
was very simple. What is a
Very
high
simple.
earner?
And hang on, before anybody answers that, we're not asking your income, Dancehall. We're
No,
not
I just want
asking
to know
your
what a
income,
high
Yvonne.
earner is.
We're asking what an average high earner is in Canada. What is that number?
250.
And then
Okay,
what's the
Norman, how many
taxes
do
on
you
that?
know
Do you
make
agree? Do
250 or
you agree
more?
with that, Yvonne?
Grant. Do it again.
So what percentage, Norman, make over 250 grand in Canada?
No,
I'm
that's
just
not the
curious.
question,
No,
Storm.
but let's see.
No,
Let's
if
see if the
that's a
other
high,
Canadians agree with this.
well,
Yvonne.
if
Why
that's
does it Grant?
that's not the question, Storm. If the high earner makes 250, what do they pay in taxes? What's the percentage?
Uh,
40, 48, 50, 55? What is it?
a
Well,
percentage?
it's a bracket.
Yeah, bracket. She's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's the bracket?
The bracket you just told me a high earner makes 250. If you make 250,000 a year, what tax bracket are you
Depends
in?
how much you want to stick in RSPs, like your 401k and stuff. I would say
We
you
all
look at,
have that. That's just deferring. Go ahead.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
let's talk
deferred.
about how
Okay,
much you
that's
pay in
not.
taxes,
That's
Norman.
just you still have to pay the same amount. You're just deferring
Why
into a
does
step.
any of this matter? Why?
Well, no, yeah,
Divine, we
it's
want to
about
know the
40.
tax
It
rate
depends on the
on a high
bracket.
earner. What's the big deal?
I think it's
I'm
about
trying
hey,
to
40.
guys.
I
learn.
think it's
So
about 40%.
Marginal rate.
one second. What
Excuse
we
me.
trying to figure out?
Marginal rate in Canada.
So
Marginal.
What are
if
we trying
you're
to figure
gonna
out here? What does
earn,
this have
Marginal
to do with
rate.
anything?
Since
if
the
you're
What does
gonna
this have to
earn
Canadians
do with?
don't know.
Okay, one,
$250,000, it's
okay. What does this have to do with Carney visit and Trump and the meeting that we had? That's what I'm trying to do. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Because we went off
Marginal rate.
I-95 and we
A
went to
marginal
exit
rate.
16.
Cindy.
because they
Marginal.
want to demonize Canada, and you're not
Marginal
gonna
rate.
get it
No,
from me.
I asked a question.
We're
I don't know why
asking
you're getting so
questions.
offended.
It has everything to do with Carney. economy, and this is the reason why. Look, if you're taxed at 45% and you're in a high tax bracket, we
It's not
just want to
45.
know what the economy looks like. Great, you get free health care. We know that. Yes, you take care of one another. We know Toronto's a very expensive city to
It's
live in.
not
You go to
45.
Newfoundland. We
Yeah.
get it.
Grant, how much is it?
It's 52% before capital gains.
Okay, thank you very much.
Capital gains is
Earned
insane.
income is 52% before any other taxes, property taxes, capital gain taxes, gift taxes, inheritance taxes, and purchase taxes. You have GST and PST on top of that when you purchase something. So, guys,
Yep.
you have some of the highest taxes in the fucking world, period.
Yes,
There's
Now,
other
yes.
the fact
countries,
that
Grant, that
I
are higher.
know, the fact that you get all upset about it, I know.
You don't pay GST and PST on everything. There are
Yeah,
lots of things you don't pay
that
GST
are
and
tax
PST on.
exempt.
Okay,
Yes, some
so
things
I'm
are
not gonna
exempted.
be in here for you guys to try to put your fake news out there to demonize Canada. I'm out of that conversation.
We just asked the question. It's just an
Here's a better
answer.
question, Cindy. Look, the reason why this has everything to do with Carney, he is a liberal. We understand that.
Fuck,
Is
we
he
know
going to
that.
raise taxes? Is he going
What?
to take more of your income?
Listen, I'm in Alberta.
No.
I'm in Alberta. Hold up. We don't pay PST, first of all. And the way I pay myself through is through my corporation, which basically lowers my taxes. So there's ways around to basically deal with the BS and whatnot. I barely claim anything personally, so I get money back on that front. So yeah,
Isn't
but
And
taxes.
working
Alberta
from home
weighing
and
a
so forth.
isn't Alberta weighing a referendum on joining the United States?
No, we're
Yes.
not
We're
weighing the
not joining you
referendum on
guys.
joining
No.
the
Shut
United
up.
States. We want to
Enough.
separate from Canada.
Pay capital gain
You want to
taxes.
separate from Canada, and where are you
Excuse
going to
me.
go?
Are you going to
Cap.
take the indigenous
Well,
lands? Are
you
you
can't really
crazy?
move. You can't really move a province, and we can't. We're not going to be able to move out from Canada because we got to deal with the indigenous treaties first and foremost.
You also got to deal
So
with the
I'm not
monarchy
exactly
in,
sure
in,
what
in
her
fucking
strategy is
Britain.
over there, but we just want to be more autonomous, apparently.
We made
And
it
First
clear
Nation
we
peoples
report to
don't pay
Britain.
taxes.
It has to do with the monarchy. You guys don't fucking get it, do you? It doesn't just do with Canada. It has to do with the Brits, right?
Capital gains taxes are 50%, and they were 69 briefly last year, but it sounds like he's trying to move them back down, and I think it's past that.
If you can move it down, great. That'll be a blessing because
Capital
that's
gains taxes is 50%, and you pay
That
50% of that 50%. It's not
that's
actually 50%.
well, sure, it's
I should know
50%.
because I can do
You
capital
have some
gains. I
capital
have
gains.
houses. Of course, because I have
I
assets.
know.
yeah. But Grant, if you put the house, the right estate plan in here, and you do it in a corporation, you pay less tax. You put in your name, you're fucked on primary residence.
And can you depreciate your assets, Yvonne, for 27 and a half years?
No, I don't think so. I don't think we have that
No, we get
depreciation on
screwed,
the
Yvonne.
assets. We don't
Mm,
have that.
okay. So owning assets
Well,
does not help you with
those are
taxes.
her personal assets too, Cindy.
What's that? Do you think?
I thought she said those were her personal assets.
No, she said she owns assets. I asked her if she can depreciate. You can only own one asset that you can't depreciate, and that's your home, right? So if
Okay,
she
okay,
has
okay, yeah, yeah,
assets, if you have assets here, you can depreciate the assets for 27 and a half years,
yeah, yeah. That's right.
right?
That's right.
So they don't
Yep.
get that over there either, which I think is wrong, but okay. I don't live there.
I actually listened to the presser that they did today in the Oval Office, and I thought both of the guys comported themselves extremely well. They were jovial, they were funny, self-deprecating at times, deprecating, not defecating. Grant, and so I think they did a good job.
Well, he wore a suit, so it wasn't like Zelensky getting his ass kicked
I
in.
don't know about that, Stewie. I don't know about all that. I mean, listen. All I'm saying is this: I think America and Canada has been friends for as long, like from for as long as both countries has been around, and we recognize that when they were in the office together, even though they had their differences, they recognized. Listen, we can't go anywhere. We're gonna be neighbors. We're gonna be friendly to each other. Canada's gonna exist. America's gonna exist. We don't have a choice. And so I think they're going to come out with a really good deal. Carney said it himself. USMCA was transitory. It was a foundational document to create the opportunity for more exchange of trade. And I'm happy that Carney's come to his senses and realized that if he wants to survive and he wants to leverage the political capital he has in Canada, he's going to be forced to acquiesce to Trump's demands. And it's happening beautifully.
Next caller, what are we going to talk
Did
about?
TC just mic drop and nobody retorted?
Fine, we
Now
can't.
it just don't bother.
because he made some sense there
He
too. I
did make
mean,
sense in
Carney
that.
did not go to Washington to
Yeah.
fight with Trump. He's not that type of person. He did
No,
what he
he knows
had
how
to
to do it.
do,
Hmm.
and he already stated his case, and he
Yeah.
told Trump before he went there too. So I did like the conversation, and Mr. Trump is communicated his way. Carney communicated his way. It is a start of a meeting, a conversation, because you can negotiate with somebody and fight them. People wanted to see Carney go there, and it became a shit show like what in Zelensky's time. Some people were saying, "Oh, he didn't push back on certain things." Why would he publicly push back outside? When Trump says about the 200 and odd, all right, 200 and odd million billion or whatever trade deficit, why would he push back? Just let it go. He had to say what he said about the not being Canada is not for sale, not being number one, and he doesn't even talk about number one. But he said what he had to say, and they had a good meeting. They went inside. They had a meeting. It is a start of a relationship. Most people wanted them to fight. They're not going to fight.
Yvonne, he's got a bit more of a brain than that
Carney is
idiot
not going
Trudeau.
to. Carney is not going to fight. Carney is not Trudeau, and Carney is more centrist than Trudeau. And I'm happy with the new prime minister.
Yeah,
Headstone.
we'll see. I owe
Hey,
you lunch.
speaking of
I
the
owe you
part where
lunch,
he said
Yvonne.
Canada's
You
not for
won.
sale, chat, if you don't mind, if you, while the next person jumps in, if you could just get that 30-second section of that video that you do have of their conversation, just the part where he slips that in, because I
Please.
do want to circle back to how he just rolled that in. He definitely wasn't asserting it in any way. He was just kind of like, oh, yeah, and by the way, yeah, Canada's not for sale. Moving on.
Yeah, and make
Yeah,
sure
so,
make sure you say what you leave it on long enough to hear what Trump says at the end.
yes,
And then
Yeah,
what
please.
he
yeah,
Thank
yeah,
you.
said
yeah, yeah,
after
yeah.
Trump, where he said never ever. Thank you.
Let's play the whole damn thing, cause
It
y'all.
was
No, no,
good.
no,
Exactly.
no. We don't need.
Yeah.
No, no,
Yeah.
no, no, no.
Listen,
Hold
Trying to
on. We
stop
don't need to
things
it
go.
in
We
was
don't
certain
need to
good.
watch the
places.
whole video. There was a point that was made earlier, and we could just catch that 30-second section about
No,
15 seconds
I'm already off
before,
a fucking coin
15
toss with
seconds
you,
after.
okay?
We
it
can
was
just catch that
friendly
right there.
banter. The both of the guys were extremely intelligent. It was really friendly.
Thank
They
you,
both had some
Snarky.
witty
I
jokes.
agree with TC. Oh my
Yeah,
God, I agree.
Carney
Lord,
had
if
some
I'm
witty
gonna vomit.
jokes, and he got a couple laughs. Trump had some really witty moments, and he got a couple laughs. That's the type of negotiator I want to see. They're both they were really really impressive to watch today, honestly. And no, you're right. He definitely he drew the line. He was clear, emphatic. He was frank. Canada's not never for sale. And Trump said, "Hey, things change in history. Never say never." And he started saying never. That was funny. It was good.
And then he said never ever. But TC, what he also said about Trump in our press conference is that Trump is Trump, basically. He's gonna be Trump. So he's not trying to change Trump. He's just looking at our best interests. And I thought that was cool to say. Like you can't change Trump. Trump is Trump. So I thought that was very cool to admit. And he has to know how to work around that, right? So
Yeah, greatest ever.
mm,
Trump is
Now, let me
Trump.
ask you guys something. You
By the way,
realize I
nobody
said
ever
it
said
before,
Biden is Biden.
but Biden's going to suck
Can
his
you
ice
imagine
cream.
if PP went up there to negotiate? Oh my God, we would be embarrassed. It would be like another
Lord of
Zelensky.
mercy. He would have
Oh
been
my
down and stuck
Jesus.
his toes.
The main
Again, is
thing
it?
to remember here is that the objective was to go in there and not escalate the situation. That was gained. And number two, to buy time. I think Carney, if anything, bought us time as we continue to shift through this new landscape that's going to be the relationship between America and Canada until this administration or whatever basically comes into play, to where there's a little bit more reason, given that we're so interwoven into each other's fabric in terms of economics and culture. So let's pump the brakes a little bit, take a deep breath, and see how this basically goes. Because really, that's all Carney needed today. So to do today, so he accomplished that. I just don't like the site and the location of basically doing a press conference after the White House, because the reporters. I've only Google eyes for freaking Trump. It's ridiculous. I'll
Next
land with that.
time, next
So
time, rent
Trump
an
can come
Airbnb,
here
and
then.
next time, rent out an Airbnb and have them come to your place.
That's
Yeah,
what I'm
yeah,
gonna
he can
do.
come here.
That's
No
what I'm
Yo,
gonna
problem.
do.
We
like,
got
That's
lots
what
for
we'll
him.
do.
He can come here.
No,
Mayan
he
time
can't come
laughing.
here. He's a convicted
but I'm
criminal. We got to
saying
Oh,
keep
though,
that's
where
quiet.
right. He
else were
can't
they?
get across the
Hold
fucking
on, Norman.
border.
1 second, 1 second.
Yeah.
But I'm saying though,
Where's
where
he
else were they
convicted
supposed to
felon?
meet? Where were they supposed to meet?
My God, you guys talk
In America,
Like,
that's where they.
no, but seriously though, Cindy, when he says he doesn't like how the reporters were because he was on Trump's territory, he got 85% of the question. Like, where else were they supposed to have gone and met? Like,
They
Niagara
that's
can
my
meet
Falls.
at the
How's
White
that
question.
sound?
House.
Okay.
They
Like,
can meet
come
at the White
on.
House, but they don't need to have a press conference, Marty. That's ridiculous. If you watch that whole 30 minutes, it was a waste of Carney's time to be there because all the questions were directed at Trump. So I would not do that again. You want to go meet? Absolutely, no problem. But I'm
Well, you
not
want
going
him
to
to
be
come here
sweet.
to Ottawa?
I'm not going to be
Cindy,
pony
have him
walk.
come to your place next time, Cindy.
Hey, as a matter of
Cindy, have him
fact,
come to
as a
your
matter of
place
fact,
next
we've got
time.
a G7 going on here
Can we
at
have more
some
of a
point.
stupid
They're trying to
conversation?
ban him from the G7.
Well, he can come through, and we'll
Okay,
give him
well,
a
he
good
couldn't
old
come to your
Alberta
country.
welcoming.
I've heard because he's a convicted felon. That's not true.
No, he can't come in.
Okay,
We'll give
but
him
he
a
can
We
show
don't
up
let
to the White
Did
transformational
convicted
House.
criminals.
Alberta
Okay,
homecoming
any
here.
other
he get a
stupid talk?
pardon? He's not
Yeah,
coming
there's a
over.
petition out for him to not come because of that.
Oh,
Really?
okay.
Oh.
Yeah, for a
How's
long
that
time, for a
working out?
couple
If
months.
Trump wants to come to
I
your
have the
country,
video.
he's going to be very
No,
welcome to
if
come
we
to
don't
your
let him in, he
country.
doesn't come in. Remember, it's under
One
the
mic on
king.
chat. Go ahead,
We don't
Chad.
have to
Drop
let
that
him in.
pig.
He'll get a special welcome from Carney. Let's not be ridiculous here. He'll get it.
No,
No
he
Thank
doubt.
you
will.
very much.
Well, the
Somebody with a
G7, a
brain.
lot of people don't want him to come.
No,
So
he's gonna come, guys. Come on,
Where is
don't.
the
He's gonna
G7
come
this year? Where is
in
in
it?
Canada,
Vancouver. I think it's
Oh,
Alberta. In Alberta.
Yeah,
nice.
it's in
Yeah,
Alberta. It's
it's
Well,
in
in.
who wants to live
conservative
in Alberta,
Alberta.
anyways? If you're not from Toronto, there.
Y'all
Oh,
come through Alberta
Sydney,
too,
have you
just to
been to
watch,
Alberta
just
before?
support your president.
Go and
Please.
visit
Alberta is
Thierry.
beautiful.
Unfortunately, yes. From
Yeah, come on
HETV, I
through
had to
so
Oh,
go
we
there.
meet.
okay. It's
You've been
nice.
to Banff? Banff is nice.
Oh
Banff is
yeah,
some of the
yeah. I
best
live
skiing
an
in the
hour
world.
from Banff. Y'all come through.
Man, this
Yeah, I've been to
conversation
Banff.
is all over the place.
We'll
Yeah.
Man,
soak
they
it.
talking
We'll
crazy.
we'll
All these damn
soak it.
Thank you,
Canadians done
God.
took over
Let's
the
go to
place, the
Banff
guy.
Springs.
We'll
Let's do
we'll
Yeah,
this.
Don't
soak
be
it.
a
it's just
hater.
kind of
Rascal ass
crazy.
Canadians.
We
Marty,
got
Well,
don't
have
be
a
a
Haitians.
lovely
hater.
We got the
Okay,
Haitians.
let's watch this video.
Trying to understand the debate.
I would
We're trying to
mix
watch a
together.
clip, but these Canadians won't
Credit
stop talking.
to
Marty, zip
transform
it,
Canada
buddy.
with a similar focus on the economy, securing our borders, again on fentanyl, much greater focus on defense and security, securing the Arctic and developing the Arctic. And the history of Canada and the U.S. is we're stronger when we work together, and there's many opportunities to work together. And I look forward to, addressing some of those issues that we have, but also finding those areas of mutual cooperation so we can move
Great.
forward.
That's great. Very nice. Thank you very much. It's a very nice statement. Anybody? I do feel it's much better for Canada, but we're not going to be discussing that unless somebody wants to discuss it. I think that there are tremendous benefits to the Canadian citizens, tremendously lower taxes, free military, which honestly we give you essentially anyway because we're protecting Canada if you ever had a problem. But I think it would really be a wonderful marriage because it's two places that get along very well. They like each other a lot.
Well, if I may, as you know from real estate, there are some places that are never for sale.
That's true.
We're sitting in one right now, Buckingham Palace that you visited as well.
That's true.
And having met with the owners of Canada over the course of the campaign last several months, it's not for sale, won't be for sale ever. But the opportunity is in the partnership and what we can build together. And we have done that in the past. And part of that, as the president just said, is with respect to our own security. And my government is committed for a step change in our investment in Canadian security and our partnership. And I'll say this as well, that the president has revitalized international security, revitalized NATO, and us playing our full weight in NATO, and that will be part of it.
And they have.
Sounds like two classy guys having a conversation. Trump was a little bit sarcastic. The other guy really wasn't at all, but he had to throw that real estate thing in, which is fine. He has to deliver that for sure.
Yeah,
But
relatable
Cindy,
information.
what people got to understand here is that it's right. It's the monarchy. Yvonne, you want to explain it? Maybe nobody wants to listen to me.
We all understand it.
Now they know.
I love Carney's line that said when he said, "I have met with the owners of
Yeah, who's
Canada
that? Who's the
over
Well,
the
owners
that's
of
the
course of the
Queen.
Canada?
It's the
campaign."
monarchy. That's
The
what he's talking
monarchy,
about.
Commonwealth.
Commonwealth. That's what it falls under. It would never happen.
Things that Also, Canada is all crown lands, okay? And also, the indigenous people are owners of most of the land in Canada. You can't just take people's
Yep.
land and give it away. So, the thing that Mr. Trump didn't understand when he started out talking about 51 is that I don't think he was properly, when I say educated, I'm not saying it in a derogatory term. I mean, he didn't have all the information with regard to how Canada is set up because I heard him in another interview saying that he doesn't want to take Canada. He doesn't want to take Canada anymore. He understands it now, guys. But I think he's enamored by Canada. He loves Canada and he thought it would be a good thing.
And he
Anyway,
loves Wayne Gretzky too.
God, he loves that man too much.
And
Well,
he made that
Alberta,
mistake thinking that Ovechkin is Russian and he was saying that he's Canadian.
Yeah.
Alberta
He
said
wasn't
they
So
would
he
kidding.
have
He's
doesn't
leased
like,
know
he's
his
like,
Canada.
oh, we got
hockey.
that Ovechkin, and he's got the most. I'm like, why is he shouting out freaking Putin's guy?
Yeah,
This
this
makes
guy's
no
Russian.
sense.
He's not Canadian.
He's so random.
He is. And the
Well,
other
Alberta
thing
doesn't
is,
even
Jonathan
want to be
is
a part
playing
of Canada.
something.
Somebody's got their TV on here.
Jonathan.
yeah, when he said
Jonathan,
he
you got your TV on.
visited, when he said he visited the owners of Canada, he's not talking about the monarchy.
He's talking about Queen Elizabeth or Charles. I mean,
No, 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 Norman,
The
he's
what?
indigenous.
not. He is talking about all, he said it. When I met with all the owners during my campaign meeting,
Oh, the
when he
indigenous.
was all
Yeah.
through Canada, people from Canada were the owners of this country.
Beautiful.
He
Well said.
he
That's the
was
way I took
not
Okay.
talking about the monarchy. They don't
Uh,
own us.
I thought he was.
I
No, no,
took it
no.
as the
He's talking
people.
about the people.
I know he was talking
Wait a
about the
minute, Norman.
people,
You
but
should know your own
also
history of your
also
country.
also remember that
You're the older
you
one.
cannot give away crown lands either, and you also cannot give away
That's
indigenous
right.
lands.
That's
So
right.
it is
Indigenous lands. Yes.
further complicated by that, and the people of Quebec are would not want that because
Yeah.
they are also French speaking, and
Yeah, Marty's cousin.
totally
Yvonne, they should have separated a long time ago.
Marty's
against
cousin's
it.
down there.
All right, I can talk over you guys. So I learned.
We all love Canada. Let's call it the way it is. Stop.
Okay. No problem.
That's the truth. Who doesn't love Canada? Why wouldn't you love Canada?
And then what
We'd
Cindy,
be greater. We'd be
Donald
greater
Trump,
together.
Donald Trump
Tell you
loves
who doesn't.
Canada. He said it today. I mean, I think he's genuine. And he just thought it would be better. I think he's looking out for what is good for the United States. We have more land. It would be bigger than Russia. It would be a bigger country, and we have a lot of resources. And he sees some good things, and his eyes dazzle when you think about Canada becoming 51 and just being one nice. He said the imaginary line. It was so nice, but they put an imaginary line. You have to hear him say that
Imaginary.
again. He says
Listen,
that you took
cut
a
the
ruler.
bullshit.
He
I know,
said
but
they took
guys,
a
you're going.
ruler and draw an imaginary line.
No, listen, you know who doesn't love Canada? Alberta. They don't even want to be a part of Canada anymore. They want to
You
be
don't
number
have to.
fifty-one.
You don't have to tell me, but it's not all Albertans. It's
It's
just
not
some
Yeah,
of
all
y'all
them.
Alberta.
should cut
That's
them
just
loose.
X.
They're
You
it
just
is Alberta.
You,
They
no, it
want
you,
to
isn't
leave.
all of Alberta. We live here. What are you talking about?
he don't
No,
live.
Andrew, I'm
but
best
you're a
qualified to
minority in
basically ask
Alberta.
me
No, I'm
questions
not a
about
minority. Who the
Alberta.
hell are you talking about? And I've been there. What are you talking about? My husband's from there.
Okay.
And
I,
Yeah,
Theory
great.
is in Alberta who's in this room right now.
yeah, I'm most qualified to talk about Alberta, Andrew. So I'll field any questions that you have. Thank you very much.
Yeah, okay. How many people in Alberta want to be number 51? What
10%.
You know
percentage?
what? No, about
You
maybe
know,
10%.
five.
if
My
if
ass.
we took the stance that you Canadians have, whenever we talk about Canada, y'all would not be allowed to talk in these rooms.
Okay, chat. All right.
Cause no, I'm just saying people
Hmm.
are dialoguing with you about your country just the way that you guys talk to us about ours. But whenever people try to talk to you about Canada, y'all, what are you talking about? Get out of here. You don't know what you like. We don't like
Oh, we get that a lot too.
have the dialogue. Y'all in here every
Yeah,
day talking about
Uh,
America.
y'all
But
talk
then,
about
We
but
how
get
then,
a
Alberta is
weekend
great
Chat,
and
you
talk
you
know
don't
all
want
the
why
to
that
talk.
time.
happens,
Y'all
chat?
shut it
Alberta's like y'all's
down,
redheaded
and then we get
stepchild.
yeah,
Chat,
they get all
thank you, chat.
get an
Chat,
we
may
have
I
attitude and
address
attitude
you?
because you guys are
cantankerous.
spewing fake
Chat, may I
news.
address chat,
And
please?
I always love the United States. If everybody know me 4 years
Chat,
ago,
May I
We always
address
talk
you?
a lot
We
about
love
yeah.
y'all too, but
Okay,
May I
you
address
act
chat,
like
go ahead.
Canada
please?
is
Go ahead, Tammy.
monolithic.
Go
May
ahead,
I
Tammy.
address chat? Chat, what happens is many Canadians are vested in what happens in the United States. So they know exactly what's happening in Canada. However, they're very invested into what's happening in the United States. So they're much more I'm going to say much more well rounded about the politics of the United States as opposed to the average American being well rounded about Canadian um, uh, economy, politics. So you're absolutely right. Americans here should be allowed to speak and say, and yes, we all go off because we say, "Oh, you don't understand," and sometimes this is what it is. If that's how we're coming off, I land.
You got to
Canadian
remember
politics
also,
are not that interesting. We're the cooler
we
big brother.
also, but we also protect your country, which that means you don't have to spend the money that you should be spending in military because we protect you
Yeah,
guys.
but Cindy, what do we need protected about?
God
We're not.
knows,
We
but
we
we
don't go
protect you.
around the world and police things.
But
We're
we do
neutral.
protect you. But we do.
Okay, but
Okay.
Cindy,
So if
So
you had to
does
when has
start
other
spending,
Canada been
countries.
if you had
attacked
to
on?
start spending more money in military, where your taxes going at
No,
that
but
point?
Cindy, where are we being threatened to be attacked on? That's the thing.
You never know.
Well,
We're the
that's true.
peacemakers of the world. Like, and we have a lot of other people who protect us. France is in our water. Australia is in
France,
our
Italy,
water.
Australia,
What
Great
is
Yeah,
this
we have
Britain.
the
Have
stuff?
you
crown.
have
We have
you
the
ever
52
considered that
countries to
maybe
protect us.
America might be the
You
ones to
need
attack
America,
you?
guys. You need America's protection.
The
Stop.
whole
Let's.
point is we have a lot of people protect us because we're good people and our minerals make your weapons. So come on, like it's
That's
a fair
right
trade.
there.
If
But,
Be
America
bad
didn't,
if
why
we
if
would
were
you
to
America,
attack
kind
us?
of turn around and take those minerals.
if
Well, hold a
America
second.
That would
didn't
be not
Why
protect,
so
would
good.
United States of America want to have a war with Canada for what fucking reason? Honestly,
Because
why?
Canada no, I'm not going to do that. That's
No,
stupid.
say it.
America
I'm
would
just
never do
curious
that.
because I'll
Ah, it's
debate you
stupid.
with
You
it
you
till you
you
fucking.
you 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 rest so diligently in your security that who would attack Canada, and it never crossed your mind that the
Russia.
biggest threat
No,
to
Russia.
Canada
You're under
could
our
be right
nuclear
across your
umbrella,
southern
buddy.
border.
We're so
Russia,
neutral in the fucking world. You have no idea.
Russia and China could attack us. We are a border up there on the north. Is
If
the
America was in
Now, can I
there,
just finish? The waterways up there has to be protected, and it's a shared protected border between the United States and Canada, and that is why we have NORAD, right? So
Yep.
the America is not gonna attack us, but Russia has their eyes on that waterways. So does China. So it is very important the relationship between Canada remains. And by the way, the only reason why I come in to talk up against about Canada is because sometimes I hear a lot of misinformation being spewed. But there we go.
I think we should give Russia Ukraine. We should take Canada and give China Taiwan. Boom.
Okay, in
Well,
your
the
dreams.
world would be a
And
much happier place now, then, right?
there's many times we're
if
told to
US
stay
didn't
out of your all
protect, if
politics. Come on
We'll
now.
be
if
better
US
together. We'll be better together.
if US didn't protect Canada right now, it would say Russia up there.
You'd be better
We'll be
together.
better.
First of all, you don't speak
Oh,
French.
so
You
you
don't
think the
understand the metric
52,
system.
the 52
Let me
countries
keep
that
going on
we're
that.
alliance with will just sit there and let that happen? Are you crazy? Like you guys really, really have low
Think
education.
you're
It's
in a
ridiculous.
country without the metric system.
All
What's
right. One
You're
thing
kilometers,
saying
miles,
we wouldn't be better
gallons
together?
to
You don't
liters?
think we'd be better together?
I can sleep with my door unlocked, so I do not want to be 51. Let me stay where I am.
He's
I'm
I,
right.
very
I can sleep
happy.
with my door unlocked too.
Yeah, but you have a fucking arsenal of guns. That's the problem.
Nah, I'm all right.
You
It's
can't
nice where I
Scary
carry
live.
To
guns.
God, you got to give it to them. They are a safer country. They are. They don't have
I
any.
I
So
didn't
you
sleep.
say you
saying
have
They
the
so
don't
right to
have.
you
protect
They
saying
don't
yourself.
hold
have.
hold on
Hold on.
you saying a
They
lot
Well,
of
don't have.
Americans
They
a
don't
lot of
have.
Americans
Tell
don't
me the
sleep in
last
places where
school
they can keep their
shooting, to
door
God.
open?
Tell me the
No, but I'm
last
saying
school shooting.
are you saying
Remember,
that a lot of Americans can't sleep with their door
you
open?
can. You just keep
Yes,
a
I do
piece
say
underneath
that.
your
Yes,
goddamn
I do
mattress.
say
It's
that.
loaded,
Yes, I do
right?
say that. I
What
do
how
say
many
that.
guns do you have?
I'm not worried.
I didn't even say that. I only
Would you
said
wear a
I can.
condom?
Why you guys are talking? I just said I can sleep with my doors open. I do not want to be 51. And here you guys going off.
I know what you're saying,
I think a
Yvonne.
majority of Americans can sleep with their
People
door
are just
open.
responding to what you
Without
said.
without
That was
without
so
a
That's
gun.
true.
sensitive.
Without a gun in my without a gun, because I don't even know one person with a gun. I've never
You're
seen a
not
gun.
allowed.
I have
You're not
never seen
allowed
a
to
gun,
have guns there.
and because I've never seen a gun,
We
You're
and
not
Yeah,
have
this
a
we're
allowed
allowed
gun
to.
to have
problem,
guns.
but not
You're
like
We
not
can
this.
have
allowed to.
guns.
You're not
We can
allowed.
have guns. You just have to have a license.
yeah, but I've never
Well,
seen one, and
technically, you guys
I
are
don't even
not
want to see
supposed to
what.
have
Yvonne, how do
guns.
they get in the
I get
country
paid. I
illegally
get
over
paid
the
extra to
border?
be
I'm
a gun
scared of
owner.
guns. I'm
You guys,
scared.
you guys,
We can have
Yes,
guns.
Grant.
not allowed
We
to have guns. Stop.
I've
we can
seen I've
have
seen
Yeah,
guns
guns.
all
There
my
are
life.
maybe
many,
Grant's got his
my
there
10x
are
gun.
salary
many
would increase if
illegal
I go for
guns
my
in
if I get my gun
Georgia.
license, my salary increases. We're allowed to have guns. You just need to have license.
I
I've
thought the
seen guns all
private
my
But
life.
there
sector
My
are
Canada
father was
cannot
a
have
hunter,
there
guns.
a
are
fisherman.
illegal guns that
Do
are
you have
I'm
Listen,
being
police?
scared of
there's
the
nothing
imported
wrong
from
with
the
guns.
guns.
United
Grant,
States.
Grant, where's your 10x gun? Let's see it.
I'm scared of guns.
That's got a
There's
fucking
nothing wrong with
license.
guns. My father was a
Cindy's
hunter, a
got guns.
fisherman.
All you
He
guys
had
got
guns all
guns.
in the house, rifles.
Didn't Oprah
There's
Winfrey give
nothing
out
wrong with
guns in one of
guns.
her shows? You get a gun. You
So you
get a
don't think
gun.
Canadians
Hold
hunt?
on,
Come
Yvonne.
on.
Hold on, Yvonne. I'm gonna show you a gun.
Oh, here we go. I know which one he's going for.
Grant has a crush.
I'm gonna show you a gun, Yvonne.
Uh
Hold on.
oh. Oh, here we go.
I saw your gun last year,
No,
Jude,
no.
when
Let me
you
show
came
you the
on. I
main
saw
gun.
your gun
What
last
the
year.
fuck is that?
I saw
Let
Holy
me.
you.
shit.
Boom, boom, boom.
I
Oh,
saw.
Jesus Christ. That's an
That's
assault
his
rifle.
ego. That's his ego
I
right
Go
want
there.
outside, go
That's
outside
big
and let
one.
ego
that
right
shit
Look
off.
at that.
I want
Go
one.
outside and let that shit off. Stop
I
Oh,
playing.
got
look
it,
at
I
Yvonne.
wanted one.
ego.
Boom.
He's cash.
Look at
His
the cash.
look
What
at
do you
his
got in there, Grant? Show
ego.
us.
Oh, I love the ego.
Will you
Look at
shut that
Oh,
off
that.
look at
right
that.
now, Grant? Shut that off.
Yeah.
I saw the gun last year when Chatter opened the first week of Chatter. He was
So
I
on
why did
thought
here
you
you
with the
lie to
said it was
same
the
everybody
gun.
guns.
tonight?
It's almost a year
Why did you?
after, so I saw it.
So
But
why
I've
did you lie?
It's
never,
okay, Grant.
I
Most
have
people don't
Why
even
did
know
never.
what
you
they were looking at.
When I say I have never seen a gun, I'm not talking about on the internet, troll. I'm not talking
You
about on
have
the
never
internet.
touched a gun.
I've never seen one beside me. I
I
see.
have, and
Hey, Grant,
I
what's your
shot at a
address
gun
again?
range in Atlanta too. So I've definitely touched guns.
I'm trying to figure out the topic here though. Where's the
That's
show?
right. I
Like what are
forgot
we
these black
debating?
Brits
What is
stranded
the
behind.
topic? What's going on here?
I'll tell you
So
what the topic is. A
There's
man
no
that keeps
topic.
a meat
We
closet
degraded this
is
down
the
to the
best.
Canadians crying about their little country. Let's go back to India. India and Pakistan at war.
That's a
troll.
very neat
That's a
closet.
little bit better. That's a little bit better.
Iran.
Internet
Man with
troll.
that.
I don't know if y'all heard the rest of this today, but man, Trump gave a serious warning to Iran today, like none other.
What is that? I didn't hear it.
Can you find it, Chad?
Yeah, I'm
It was
looking.
after. It was after the Canadian. It was after the took uh, in a news interview today about Iran. Heavy warning to Iran today.
You know what, Grant?
Uh oh.
Outside of the potentials of nuclear war, what are the repercussions? Like, what are we looking like? Like, I mean, if they never go nuclear, what are we looking at here? Do they just end up fighting till they end up dying out, or do you think it actually escalates into something that we have to intervene in?
You mean India and Pakistan?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think
yeah.
I think they're putting pressure on. I think they're putting on China. And don't think that I've always said there's always a third party involved. Don't think that we don't know that that was going to happen today.
Okay, perfect. So do you think? So who do you think comes first? Do you think China comes to the table first, or we drop the offer first? Like, how do you think this plays out?
I think
Sorry,
they're
I
going to
just
play it
care. I
out.
care about the closet.
The longer it goes, the more pressure on China. If their location requires on imports or materials into China, it's gonna mess up their trade business. So now China's got two problems. Well, first of all, they got a failing economy. The second problem would be the tariff, and the third problem would be now this war. If this war shuts off their trade routes,
So with that being said, now this is the last question because this one's out of the ballpark. Do Do you think we in any way, shape, or form knew every single one of those things you just said, and that's why we instigated the war? Not saying we did, just saying.
I'm saying it's very plausible to me. I don't believe in coincidences.
Okay, he even buttons his own shirts. Okay, that's the big one. Ray, you need to button your own shirts, and you need to color code them.
Then he's getting excited
Yeah,
about
I was
I
just
do. I
saying
football.
love
how
it.
his
I love a neat
his
closet.
closet
Call
is
me
neat too.
He's
OCD.
Yeah,
getting
right.
And
excited.
that's how a
The-
closet should be lined up.
All
Right,
right,
Color
I'm gonna
Cindy?
coded,
show my closet.
Should
color
be doing it
coded
for my
black,
husband.
blue, then light blue,
Hmm.
then off the light colors. Yes,
Grant, you
ma'am.
see
And then the men
you
just
see that
come
toy
back
I
and
got in
mess
there,
it all
Grant?
up.
You see that toy I got in there, Grant?
Do I see what?
This is my toy
Oh,
right
here
here.
comes Fifi.
Let me see what you got, bro.
No, I ain't gonna show it on camera.
I got him in every room, bro.
Yo, TC, get that out your mouth.
I like that safe. Nice safe.
You don't keep a safe in your master closet. Period. That's the first
Cindy,
place
Cindy,
thieves go
is that
to.
color corded nice for you?
Why not? Why not? Why not,
Is
Cindy?
that okay,
Because
Cindy?
that's where thieves will automatically
That's the
go into
first
the
place they
master.
go.
They go
Oh, it doesn't matter,
Are we
automatically.
Cindy.
recording right now? Are we still recording?
Cindy, is
Yeah,
that color
and
corded properly?
Cindy, Cindy,
one
if
mic.
the thieves know,
There you go.
if they're coming to the
A big
house, they know
brick.
all the spots.
And usually the first place they go is to the what?
Y'all
There's
see the
three white,
video?
black.
I still
Well,
call it a master bedroom, but
well,
okay.
the good
I'm
news
not putting
is the good news.
Nobody knows what y'all talking about if y'all recording right now.
One mic,
You know,
guys. One mic, guys. We're about to. Yeah, we're still doing the podcast. So yeah, guys. Let's keep this thing moving.
the
Guys,
good news is thieves for the most part aren't killers, and sometimes the homes they go to are.
Grant, I have the video with Trump and Iran.
Yeah, do it.
I'm unhappy to do it, but I really have not so much choice because we have to be strong and firm. And I hope that it's not going to have to be used in any great measure at all. It'd be great if we could have a Middle East and maybe a world at total peace. We don't want to be tough on Iran. We don't want to be tough on anybody, but they just can't have a nuclear weapon.
Mr. President, you engage in conversations with your counterpart in Iran?
I would.
Then why say you're unhappy to sign it if it's Iran and their proxies who threaten to retaliate against you and your team, like killing you guys for taking out so long?
Well, they haven't done that, and that would be a terrible thing for them to do. Not because of me. If they did that, they would be obliterated. That would be the end. I've left instructions. If they do it, they get obliterated. There won't be anything left. And they shouldn't be able to do it. And Biden should have said that, but he never did. I don't know why. Lack of intelligence, perhaps. But he never said it.
Mr. President, when you said if they do it, they get obliterated. Just to be clear, you're talking about if Iran made an attempt on your life.
Yeah, yeah. That would be called total obliteration.
The opportunity.
All right. I don't hear anything. You guys hear anything?
No.
Nope.
Y'all didn't hear any of the video?
We did.
Oh,
Yeah, I
okay.
heard.
Yeah, it just cut off. It seemed like in the middle of the
No, that
sentence.
was it.
We
Thank
heard
you,
it all.
Chad.
Thank you.
All right, so Grant, go. You asked for the video. We played it. Now what?
Trump is a beast.
Okay.
I wouldn't disagree with that. I wouldn't disagree with you on that. He is a beast.
Jonathan, being diplomatic.
Beast like 666. Don't you guys got
But
another
did
topic in
y'all
the
All right.
byline?
So
Who's
anyway,
Rodney?
did y'all hear that
go.
that Trump said that all purchases of Iranian oil or petrochemical products must stop now? He said any country or person who buys those products from Iran will not be able to do business with the United States in any way, shape, or form.
Well, that's Russia and China. That's Russia and
Russia,
China.
And for the
So
first time,
Azerbaijan,
probably,
and
for the first time, probably in American history, the man stopped a military conflict in a press conference. He was like, "You hear that, little Marco? No more attacks on Houthis, okay? Make sure everybody knows." He said it in the press conference. That was great. That was boss right there, man. It's like, Marco, make sure they get the word. No more attacks on the Houthis right now. That's crazy. Y'all didn't
all right,
catch
Iran,
that?
guys.
Iran,
Go ahead.
Am I the only one that caught that?
Iran has been selling oil in black market.
Oh,
U.S.
wow.
cannot be able to stop Iran from selling oil in the black market. So there's nothing new there.
Listen, 90% of Iran's oil is all right. They tried to fuck around one time and sell it to China through, I think it was the Philippines, but we're on to that now. So then this sanction against Iran, or this what do we want to call it? Putting it out there that no one can buy it. It's really a wag at China. Okay, and we can track this. It's not rocket science. China has been funding Iran by purchasing their oil.
So what you gonna do about that? Can't do nothing about
I'm
that.
not gonna do shit. Our fucking government is,
Can't do nothing about it, bro.
dude. Oh, well, you know what? I'm glad you're not in charge, Joe Biden. The fuck you talking about?
Just
That's why
talk
you guys aren't in
intelligently. If you
charge
know how.
anymore. That's why you guys are not in charge anymore.
So I just asked you what you gonna do about it.
Andrew, you know something, Andrew? Um,
I'm serious.
I can appreciate your passion, but you always speak about others' passion, and that was the first passion and passionate display that we had all night. And no one, and it wasn't anyone doing it to you; it was you doing it to someone else. I just want to put that out there. I want you to be mindful that if you
No,
get that same energy back, I don't want you to respond
I'm
and
not
feel
worried
like
about
you're
it.
being
I'm
singled
not worried
out.
about it.
Okay,
Guys,
so that's
Iran cannot get a nuclear weapon. I'll tell you why. It's because the doctrine of mutually assured destruction does not apply to them. They don't care if you hit them back with the nuke and wipe them out. They don't care. They just want to kill them, some Jews and Americans and anyone else who they deem as an infidel. They don't care. They will
Do you
just
do
use
you
it.
know
And if
the
they can make one, they can make 100. And they have intercontinental ballistic missiles. They're psychopaths.
Do you know the population of Iranians that are Jews? The percentage? You have an idea?
Man, I'm not going to go. You don't know the percentage of Jews that are Iran. No, why the fuck would I know that off the top of my head? Come
Okay,
on,
so
man.
research it and come back. Research it and get ready and come back
Percentage of
for the
Iran is
conversation.
Jewish.
You're not ready yet.
That was good, Sir Jude. You're not ready yet. That was good.
Yeah, here we go. It's
That was
very.
good, Sir Jude.
It's 0.01%
You
of Iran's 91 million people. How about that? So, what is your point?
That's just in Iran. He's talking about around the world.
But it made it, Sir Jude made it sound like Iran absolutely loves Israel, which is not the
Yeah,
case,
it's not the
right?
case at all. I
So I
want to
don't
know what his point was.
understand. Yeah.
That's why
I
I asked
agree
him.
with
Does he
Andrew,
know how many
actually.
Jews? Does he know how many Jews are in Iran? 0.01%, bro. So maybe you're the one who's not ready to have this conversation. Just throwing that out there, Mr. Harvard.
Shots fired. Shots fired.
well. Anyway, guys, moving
Yeah,
right
exactly.
along.
They cannot get a nuke.
How do you vote? How do you rate this room tonight? This conversation tonight, Jonathan, on a scale from 1 to 10.
A six, a
Yeah,
four.
content wise, content. Give it a 6.
6 to 4, but I'll say 4.
maybe even lower. Lower than a 6.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. You know why?
I've been sitting
Because
there.
I hadn't given a dateline yet.
No,
Why?
Nope.
because we let the Canadians talk too long. They dragged the fucking
There you go. Where's Nelson to say that?
Canadian taxes, dude.
Hey, you know
So
what? We won't say anything for a week, and you'll see how this goes.
It'll
Okay,
be
for a week.
fine. It'll be
I'm going
fine.
on strike
I was
now.
hoping. I
I'm
was
not
hoping
saying
McKee was
anything
here.
anymore. That's it. I'm so insulted, Grant. Not saying anything for a week. I'm on
Uh,
strike. Okay,
oh,
and I'll
don't
end
punish.
Gift
with
from the
that.
Don't
heavens.
punish me like that, dude.
It's
Oh
your
my
fault,
gosh,
Grant, if I'm not talking anymore. Okay.
my life is so fucked up now.
all right.
I'm
So
just
is
sorry that
mine.
McKee.
So is mine. You screwed my whole life up.
I'm sorry that Mickey wasn't in the room tonight to hear the Martha Stewart interview. Because I'm glad you found that, Jonathan. That was fair playing that. Thank you.
No, of course.
Nobody
But
should act like a slave.
moving on, Grant. I want to go to this Rodney Hinton Jr. I
Nobody's brought up Rodney but you all night.
I'm about to bring him up now.
Nobody gives a shit about Rodney.
Yeah. I know, but we're gonna talk about it and move on.
By the way, can I just
Man,
say, if I can just say, guys, if you're listening in your car right now, or at home, or at work, and you're listening to this on a podcast, you should be in this room at night, chopping it up with Jonathan Bing, myself, and many others. No telling what can happen in these rooms on any night. Okay, most of these nights are like 10s and 11s and 12s. Yeah, tonight was a weaker show, but again, we tried to give a voice to our friends to the north. It didn't work out. We'll pivot in the future. The shows will get better. And by you coming in here, by downloading the Chatter app, and it's free, by